Not every geek with a Commodore 64 can hack into NASA.
First Blood.
Amiga.
Not every geek with a Commodore 64 can hack into NASA.
This one's dedicated to all the hackers. Yo. Even out, settle scores quick. Our disaster recovery requires even more discs. Put your bytes up, prove it or you forfeit. Got my C64 and we blew it into orbit. M Bison with 8 straight perfects. Overload emotions make hate break circuits. In case you heard, it's a name fake service. Optimize our runtime to escape verdicts. Got an integer scope flow that they can't sign. Passing code, didn't sanitize command lines, landmine. So before they'll see me after, I'm advice star, courage, woke plus velociraptor. Don't prove we're human unless we really have to. My team built schemes that destroy, recapture. Hate what they see, finish this chapter. By the way, we're not any geeks, we hack into NASA. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. Got this vodka and this Red Bull, they still give me wings. So we drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. 0 through 3, we're in every single ring. I'm just waiting till my BlackBerry dies, cause I'll replace it with the Raspberry Pi. Don't compare to this track, it makes everything they said dull. Neutralize any threat, turn Red Skull to Dev Null. They killed virus writers that we mentioned, but instead they ascended to the VX heavens, then reincarnate as live wires. Still inside we hide ciphers and sign device drivers. Which school will we hit next? They didn't learn the format, so we've got a print F. Next step is a chin check. Freestyles that I spit best, they didn't decrypt yet. I crush internet MCs and rhyme battles. Get your Wi-Fi tackled, hacked by pineapple. I don't think you'll like my Snapple, cause I popped it with vodka in a cyanide capsule. We drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. Got this vodka and this Red Bull, they still give me wings. So we drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things.
You know there's gonna be security, right?
First we drink all the booze, then hack all the things. Then backdoor the firmware on anything you bring, regardless of the hardware, service or encoding. Connected to the internet and someone's gonna own it. This is for the pirates that clap and love the sound. Attacking from the cloud, then we're back in underground. There's no masking from us now. We pop tour nodes around the globe, track and hunt you down. Packed on schedule, add it to your calendar. Devices online, here comes another challenger. State infiltrated, so undercover. This is for my comrades who stare at the debuggers and trace every buffer. Examining the code flow, haven't been to sleep, better pop another no-dose. I think I'll need a planet-sized urn, cause some men just wanna watch the world burn. Your turn.
Stay out of jail.
Technologically possible, yeah.
Drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. Got this vodka and this Red Bull, they still give me wings. So we drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. Drink all the booze, hack all the things. 0 through 3, we're in every single ring.
I mean, these servers have more firewalls than the devil's bedroom.
Hack all the things. Drink all the booze. Hack all the things. Hack all the things. Hack all the things. Things. 0 through 3, we're in every single ring. Hack all the things.
Yeah, well, good luck, man.
Drink all the booze. Hack all the things.
Ladies and gentlemen and everyone around, welcome to UHC.
Yes, welcome everyone. Welcome to another UHC Tonight, your CTF match here on Twitch, live on Twitch. Tonight, the 10 top players of last night qualifying rounds get to play against each other for the cash prize of 500 reais, or it's around $100 or something like that. But they get to compete for first place tonight. I'm your host, Marina Chapata from Brazil. Actually, I'm living in the US right now, but I'm from Brazil. Just as UHC and Hacking Esports, the company that organizes UHC, we're all from originally from Brazil. Jesus Christ. And that's why you're going to see me struggling a lot with English. So bear with me. If you don't want to listen to a lot of Portuguese going on, that's what we have for tonight, y'all. All right. So welcome to CTF for those who welcome to UHC CTF for those who don't know what CTF is. CTF is Capture the Flag. It is a type of a format of gaming. You can play that on video games. You can play that on your street, your neighborhood with your friends. You can play CTF style games pretty much any way you want. But here we apply the idea of the CTF game into hacking. So it's a hacking championship. It's a hacking CTF. So the goal here is for the top 10 players that got qualified last night to play live here on Twitch against each other to hack some systems. Now, don't worry. No one's doing anything illegal. All the systems are built exactly for the championship. So they have a safe environment to practice. Those are all very good kids, very good players, very good hackers that actually work. A bunch of them already work in security. And as you can see here, we have a bunch of cybersecurity companies looking for hiring a lot of these kids as well. So that's pretty fun. So yeah, we're not hacking anyone except our own systems here. And we have around 3 to 4 flags tonight. We call flags the technical challenges. So each technical challenge is called a flag, and they are worth points. So if the hacker submits the technical challenge, the flag, correctly, they get points, and that puts them in our scoreboard. Now, if you wanna access our scoreboard, I'm just gonna type here in the chat ! Scoreboard. And if our rude bot allows us, there you go. Here's the scoreboard link for y'all to watch the CTF with us tonight. So you're gonna actually watch the CTF as we come in live here with us. We're gonna transmit here in our broadcast. We're gonna stream our private CTF Discord server. You can join the UHC Discord server, the community public one, but that's not where the CTF is actually happening. The CTF is happening on a private one that only us, the narrators, the hosts, have access to. So that's what we're gonna stream here on Twitch. So you can only watch UHC finals here on Twitch with us. All right, so let's see. Oh, you can follow UHC on social media if you don't know. We have like LinkedIn and Instagram and Twitter and whatever you millennials like. For example. Yeah, we have a bunch of those social media profiles, so you can catch us there. And as I said, you can join the Discord server if you want to be an actual player, an actual UHC CTF player. If you just want to play around, or if you want to learn how our machines are built and everything like that, you can join our Discord server and talk with our community, talk with our staff, and actually compete in the qualifying rounds in the public Discord server that we have here in our chat. I'm just going to type here in the chat ! Discord, and the bot is going to give you the link. There you go. You can join the Discord and you can be part of the qualifying rounds for you to be one of the top 10 players here live on Twitch every Sunday. We are here every Sunday. Yes, you heard it right. It is a weekly CTF. So every week we have the qualifying rounds and the Twitch CTF finals here. And they're both different from each other. So yes, our staff organizes 2 CTFs weekly. I know it's crazy, but bear with us. It's gonna be so worth it. And I don't see Intady here in the backstage with me. Intady, if you're there, all right. Now I see him. Let's say hi to our co-host tonight, my beautiful husband.
Hey. Sorry, I forgot to re-enable my camera and I was trying to help get the players situated.
All right, so here we have our co-host of tonight, Intady from Dual Core Music. Oh, this side. Intady from Dual Core Music. If you don't know him, you should. You should just go right now to Spotify or Bandcamp or whatever music streaming service that you like and type Dual Core, and you can hear all kinds of crazy crazy songs and music about hacking and nerdcore, which is pretty freaking amazing. And I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, but before we do that, I just want to say thank you to all of our sponsors and partners. We have up there, as you can up there. Let me see if I can point it correctly. God damn it! All right. We have up there Crowsack, X Labs, Bug Hunt, Conviso, and Hackaty Inc. All Brazilian companies. They're all amazing companies. Crowsack, X Labs, Bug Hunt has been with us for a long time, and Hackaty as well. Conviso just arrived, so welcome very much, Conviso, to join us. A bunch of these companies, we are very thankful to them because of the prizes and because they make UHC possible to happen. And they're actually on the lookout for hiring a bunch of these kids. We just had Hack the Box and Offensive Security and HackerOne and a bunch of companies and people coming here on the live stream to join us and to help make hacking into an official esports thing. This is pretty much it. This is CTF hacking brought into esports, so that's pretty crazy. All right, Intady, what do you have to say to me?
Yeah, well, a lot of things. First off, I remember asking you if you would be my girlfriend, and you said yes. And then I asked you if we could get married. I mean, that was later, a couple years later, but you also said yes. So I have lots of things to say to you. But to our audience, I have plenty of things. My name is Int80. I'm the rapper in Dual Core and also married to Marina's husband. Actually, that's probably the top accomplishment on my resume, and then everything else is just kind of cool. All the folks that are joining us, thank you so much for being here. I see LZ, who hosted with us last week, subscribed on Prime. I was playing some CTFs this weekend, and one of them was Pwn Defend, playing with LZ. And when I stopped playing, LZ was top of the board at 210 points, if I remember correctly, and I was in like 180. So I was almost there, but yeah, LZ, thank you for subscribing to us with Prime, and always good to see you. And all the folks that are watching, thank you for joining us. Let's see, on my side of things, other than playing CTF, I've been working on some music stuff. I've got another solo EP that I'm working on that's mostly recorded at this point. It's just got a little bit more vocal work to do. And then all the cool stuff of the album art and videos and all that fun stuff will be really neat. But hopefully I'll have that out in the second half of the year. And I don't know, just learning all the time. I've been really excited about containers. So I've been playing container boxes on Hack the Box. I wrote a loader, I guess last weekend, that is kind of like a container. It does username space remapping and you can spawn a process, but then make it think it's root, but it can't access. It doesn't actually have root access on the system. So it was really cool, just learning all kinds of stuff. And super excited for our CTF tonight. We've got some incredible players, some of whom I've played with previously, and we also have an incredible host joining us.
Yes, we do have a special guest tonight. Y'all probably know if you follow us on social media, but we do have Ipsec here again with us. Welcome back, Ipsec.
Hey, glad to be a part of this. It's always a fun night. One day I'll get better at introducing myself, but if you don't know me, you can just Google Ipsec and find a bunch of videos. I've been doing videos for, I think, 4 years now. It could be 5. My whole sense of time is screwed up. Who knows? Maybe it's 6. But I try to do about an hour every week of just recording myself solving hack-the-box machines. And someday soon, I want to get into streaming now that I got my home office more set up. I think I finally fixed some of the echoing problem. If you've watched recent videos, there was a slight echo, but yeah.
Ooh, is tonight the night that we're gonna actually see who Ipsec is? I don't know. Maybe we're not gonna give any spoilers. All right, if you don't know who Ipsec is, please go look for him on YouTube. You're gonna have lots of fun. Antady is a fan of Ipsec himself because he loves the way that Ipsec constructs his hacking videos, like showing all the mistakes and process, just the way hacking actually is. And we're going to get to know a little bit of our players tonight. All right, let me just share very quick my presentation with y'all.
And I just wanted to shout out that Ipsec's site is really good, ipsec.rocks. And Ipsec, you've got all of the videos broken down there with different categories and all of the like timestamps and everything. So if, for example, I was like, I want to see a video about Docker stuff, I'd go on ipsec.rocks, type in Docker, and it'll load up all of the videos you've made and the specific segments where you've done Docker stuff. And so I really love that about your site.
Yeah, it's the best accident I've ever done.
Happy accidents.
Such a big whoops. All right, everyone. So welcome officially to our 31st. Is that it? 31st edition. Here on UHC. That's right. We are now running for 31 weeks. Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's see who's playing tonight. Matheus Pimentel from Brazil is back on UHC, our veteran here. I can't remember. I don't think he's won still, right? He got pretty close to last editions. But we are here yet to see Matheus taking a UHC trophy to his home.
I think Matheus actually finished first in the qualifiers last night or like this weekend. And may have also finished first last weekend as well. I remember Matheus was like up at the top there. So yeah, Matheus been really kicking butt in the qualifying rounds every Saturday and joining us here every Sunday. So very excited.
Damn, Matheus boy, you got it. You got it. I believe in you. We want to see you winning tonight. All right, we have João Ribeiro. Oh yeah, the staff put little trophies now. Oh, look at how cute that is. I like the design. I'm a person from humanities. So John Rivers is back. For those who don't know why we call him John Rivers, that's because Antady cannot say the Portuguese name of this kid, so we have to literally translate for him to be able to say the name of the kid. So it's John Rivers now. Or as Nahamsek renamed him, John the Winner.
That's right, because he won.
Yes, you know that's why John the Winner.
but the thing was, Nahamsek was like had renamed him to John the Winner before John actually won.
That is true.
I think that was the week.
Yes, that is true. Nahamsek predicted that John would be the winner. That was pretty amazing. Oh, actually, if y'all want to watch past editions of UHC, I forgot to say that we have all the past editions available on YouTube. So if you want to find us there, type Hacking Esports there on YouTube. Find us there, Hacking Esports, and you can watch all the previous editions there. All right, then now we have Waid, another big time winner here. Oh, actually, our first one of tonight's match, big time winner here on UHC. Waid has won 3 times already, also from Brazil. It is a veteran that is very well known here on UHC. All right. Let's see who else we got here. We have Ricardo, another veteran. We've seen Ricardo playing week after week. It's very, very nice that he is here with us pretty much every week, actually, and playing the qualifying rounds and qualifying week after week. So another player that we are rooting for one win.
Yeah. Ricardo's been pretty strong the past few weeks, so I'm kind of hopeful here.
Yes, he is. We have Hello Friends. I think we've seen Hello Friends a few times already, like 3 or 4 times maybe. So I think we can call him a veteran at this point, right?
Yeah, and I'm not sure because there was a player that was named Hello, so I don't know if this is the same player or a different player, but each of those Hello and Hello Friends have been on multiple weeks.
All right, let's see who else we got here. We have Bigos. Bigos, another veteran and also one-time champion here from UHC. So we have a lot of big names tonight. That's good.
Yeah, Bigos was our winner last week, I think. And I think it was a pretty tough chain last week, and Bigos just happened to get there first, and that was what helped get them the victory.
Exactly. All right, let's see who else we got here. We have, our American fellow here does Real Bert, American player with a German name, I think.
Yeah, and I was talking with Bert last week, or Albert maybe, but I was talking with them last week, and they said that they're actually from Germany, but they live in the U.S. now.
You see? I know stuff. Deep down my brain, I know stuff. Welcome back, Bert. All right, we have Salesian. Salesian, as we are very well aware, is a UHC monster, is a CTF monster. So he is back after winning 5 times.
Yeah, always excited to see what Salesian does. I remember the first time that IPSEC was hosting with us, Salesian won in like 35 minutes or something like that. So, and then the other time that IPSEC hosted with us, it was the finals from last year, and Salesian got all of the flags in like an hour and a half to finish in first place. So it seems like IPSEC is kind of this like turbo catalyst for Salesian. So I'm fully expecting Salesian is going to get like all the flags within the first like 6 minutes tonight.
And like 2 weeks ago when I wasn't here, I bet all my money on Salesian winning and lost it all.
So the question then is, will you bet all of your Twitch points again on Salesian?
I don't have any.
Oh no.
I lost them all.
All right, well, we'll see what happens tonight. The CTF has already officially started, so let me share here my my private Discord with y'all where the CTF is actually happening. And we're on. UHC is officially on, y'all. We have started.
I do want to say I was watching people prep as we did the intros. Like we could see them setting up their environment. And Salesian and someone else actually went into documents HDB and then went cd.cduhc out of habit.
Nice. Yeah, I've got, like a particular directory structure and like for my CTF stuff. And then when I'm, not on that system or not in that VM or in one of my VMs, I make those same typos where it's just muscle memory, right? Like I'm so used to going into a particular path and then it's not there.
Ooh, someone is using OWASP Zap. I'm actually meaning to check out this tool. It's one of the academy courses I'm helping make. We're trying to like push Zap, and I put in a random Git comment about like on their like akin to repeater, they didn't have a hotkey to send a thing. And I put in a GitHub issue, and within like 1 hour, it existed.
Wow.
I was like, oh, wow. Did not expect that.
That is a really tight loop. That's impressive. I've seen Zap. I've used it only a couple times, but this is one of the things that I love about UHC is the players all come from different backgrounds or they've got different preferences, right? So, some players play in Windows, some players play in a Kali. Like this one, it just looks like a standard Ubuntu with XFCE4, I think.
This is actually why I wanted to start using Zap, is because the Zap HUD. I think it's a really cool feature that Burp Suite doesn't have. It does some weird, like janky hijacking with JavaScript to put these buttons on your page.
Oh, so nice.
Instead of like tabbing back to Burp Suite to turn intercept off, you can just do it from the page itself. Also, when you have like an input field, it will show you all the things you're inputting. So if there's just a hidden variable that is hidden, then you'll still see it because it pops up saying we are submitting these 4 fields. And you're like, wait, I only submitted 3. Just
Nice.
small things that are nice.
Yeah, that is cool. I like that. On screen right now, it looks like there's a Docker file, and I guess the build is failing. It looks like it's trying to run this application, but it's missing an import for Paramiko. Paramiko Python module, which I think is used for SSH. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so I don't know. Kind of, in the early stages in Recon, you're kind of just getting a lay of the land, right? So did anything jump to mind for you, IPSec, when you saw that Docker file?
Nothing yet, really. I was more just looking at Zap and like jumping through other people, seeing exactly what everyone's doing.
Sure.
A lot of people are still like doing sudo su in their Kali to get root. So one of the things is always prep for CTFs ahead of time. Not when the competition starts, but like you should have a few tmux paints and have like the go buster command ready just for you to paste in that URL or put in a bash script. Looks like Silesian has root on the Docker already.
Oh, wow. Let's jump over to Silesian and maybe bet some Twitch points. Oh, wait, sorry, you can't. Oh.
Next week, if I'm here, I will have some Twitch points to bet on Silesian because I'm sitting in the chat now.
Oh
Yes.
my God, Silesian, if you're listening to us, bless you so much. Thank you for your big font. The players here usually use like very small little fonts that we can barely read. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. You can actually see the screen.
Yeah, so it looks like maybe there's an upload endpoint, and then you can specify, I guess, a Python file, and it will just run the Python file for you, maybe?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm not sure exactly how I found that. I guess maybe just on the site it was upload.
Yeah, I did see in the Zap window when we were looking at Mateus that there was like an upload function that was labeled as post. So I don't know. I guess we're still kind of, since we're jumping around between the player screens, we don't necessarily have a full view of everything yet. But wow, Silesian already with the flag. Now let's see. Oh, look, doesn't have the scoreboard up. See, when you were just talking about doing the. All right, there we go.
There it goes.
Oh wow!
So there's only 2 flags in this one?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So 2 flags, just the easy and the hard. So
First blood.
And there we have it.
That may have been it. And this is we saw this last week. The first player to get first blood last week was the one who won. So if the privesc or the navigation through the environment is too difficult, you could end up winning just by being first. And guess what? It was not Silesian that got first blood. It was Waid.
So I'm looking through other people. It is just a simple upload form. So just uploading the Python, and the web page says upload a new Python code to run. So it's kind of hinted at what you were supposed to do.
Nice.
So we should probably see other people get it soon. I'm going to go over to Wade's to see what he's up to.
Cool. Yeah, so we're still watching Silesian here live on the stream, and I'm really curious with this like Docker file setup. Like I wonder if it's deploying your own Docker file for you, maybe, and then that should get you immediate root, within the container as long as you can get access to the container.
So
sorry to interrupt you here. A few people here in the chat are asking about the bets. Yes, everyone, we do have a betting system tonight, and we also have a Twitch store here in our Twitch channel. So if you scroll down, you can check our store there with a lot of stuff you can buy, including the betting system. You can bet your Twitch points that you gather by commenting here on the Twitch chat. And you can bet on whichever player you think it's going to win. You can only bet on the first hour of the championship, so be sure to bet as soon as you can. The bet, you can choose the player to bet according to their Discord room number. So here we have Mateus Pimentel in the first room, John Rivers second, Waid third, Ricardo 4, Hello Friends 5, Bigos 6, Bert, that's Rio Bert 7, and Silesian 8. We do not have a 9th and 10th player tonight because of technical issues with both of them. So we are running with 8 players tonight. So Mateus 1, Mateus 1, John 2, Waid 3, Ricardo 4, Hello Friends 5, Bigos 6, Does Real Bird 7, and Silesian 8. And you can bet your Twitch points here on the chat. And in the the Twitch store here, you can buy either time off the scoreboard, you can buy hints for the players, you can buy questions, you can donate, you can buy a player's screen time here on Twitch. You can buy lots of stuff to mess around with the CTF strategy and to have extra fun here on UHC with us. All right.
Dope. And I was just catching up on the chat. So what up, Dave? And I think it was Maxman. Thank you for the big ups about the music. Glad y'all appreciate it. And Dave, that's so wild that your kids see me on the screen and are like, dual core. I never imagined that people would be listening to our music at this scale, let alone kids of all ages. So that's amazing. Okay, so let's see, are we still watching Silesian? Is that who's on screen still?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, nice.
I think Silesian is the furthest one ahead still. What I'm guessing is happening here is you upload code to a Docker that's a website, and in that Docker file, the entry point to the Docker is actually pointing to a file that this writes to.
Nice.
Is my guess.
Okay. And then, do you think that it? So you get an arbitrary file right on the remote system, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It there's probably a directory share between 2 different Dockers. So probably the web server is able to spawn new Dockers. So what it's doing is dropping the file that you upload to a place that's going to be shared, starting the Docker, and that Docker's entry point is the file it drops.
Got it. Nice. And then, I think Silesian kind of working on that same premise there, right? I see the copy/root to temp root. So looks like trying to get access to the root file system from the vantage point of inside the container.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see. What else comes to mind for attack surface when you're inside the container? I think of the socket overwrite. And what else?
So the one thing I didn't really see Silesian do, it looked like he had a reverse shell. Did he not? Or is this him trying to catch a reverse shell from EC2 or something?
It could have just been his VPS. Because I think he's got an EC2 instance or something that he uses just for, attack infrastructure during the CTF.
Yeah, so if he doesn't actually have a reverse shell, then sorry, I got distracted by email.
I know.
Email pops up on screen. I'm like, I must read this all before it disappears. I won't see this again.
I am exactly the same. In meetings at work, when people share their screens, I'm looking at what are their favorites in their browser? What are their browser tabs open? What are they listening to in Spotify? I'm paying attention to all the things except for what I'm supposed to be paying attention to.
Come on, embarrassing notification.
Yes. Yeah, right. And I hope this is not Silesian's work machine. I would be really sad. It's going to be calendar reminder, lunch with the CEO tomorrow at noon.
That's always good to know. We social engineers, we are very thankful.
Hey, be nice. Be nice.
So the one thing I think I would do here is he was able to do a single command and he can't get a reverse shell. So he doesn't have any interactivity. But he can make that one single command, download and execute linps or just a find slash. And it's going to take a while to run, probably a few minutes. So that would just be good to have in the background. So when he gets stuck here, he can be like, okay, let me just go through this output that I ran a few minutes ago. It's already done. Here's a list of all the files on this box. Oh, I see a docker.sock file.
Right.
So it's not uncommon to be able to get code execution on a Docker container and not be able to get back out. A lot of times Docker will just be in an isolated environment that doesn't really have network access. It's one of the big benefits of Docker. You can do it in IP tables as well, but just in Docker it is easy to do. If you do it in IP tables, it becomes kind of a pain to keep your server up to date and things like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I like that about Docker, how it will, spin up the interfaces, do the bridging, all the routing and all of that for you. And you can intentionally make it, into a bad state, but you can also set it up fairly easily that it's, pretty well isolated. And I say that from a normal person's perspective. I'm no Ian Coldwater here. So Ian, if you're watching, please don't start hating and be like, oh, y'all have no idea. Because I'm sure there was like on Twitter a couple weeks ago, every Friday, there's a company called Secure Ideas, and they post like a small security challenge. And one was like about user namespace remapping. And the challenge was like, how would you run something as root inside of a Docker container, but prevent it from having root on the host? And so I got like this. My take was to do this rootless Docker, and I got like a actually message from Ian in a very nice way, and they were just like letting me know like yeah, there's maybe some interesting stuff there to look into. So I feel like anytime where I'm like, oh, this thing with Docker, I have to like put like an asterisk by it and be like, pending approval from Ian Coldwater.
It's always funny when you hear like super like big Docker people like, step number 1 of Docker, chances are you don't need to use Docker.
Right. Yeah, there's I think it's from maybe 2019, but there's a presentation and it's like, if you're going to run Kubernetes, like the best Kubernetes advice is to get somebody else to do it for you.
Yeah. It's a really cool technology, but super easy to shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know much about it, so that's why I'm like, I'm sure I could easily shoot myself in the foot with this.
I feel like it's a good comparison is like Office 365, where all these companies are going to the cloud to do email, but then realizing, oh crap, now we just expose our email to the internet, and we're not even paying for the license that has protection.
Yeah.
The scoreboard is back, everyone, and Waid is still in first place with 100 points, the easy flag. Silesian second, third is Bert, fourth is Mateus Pimentel, and fifth is Bigos. So we have now a big part of our players tonight already in the scoreboard, everyone with the easy flag.
Yeah, 5 out of 8 of the players are on the board already, aka 62.5%. I don't know why I know that 1/8 is 12.5%. And so, what Dave's asking in the chat, what is this copy command? And copy is a directive in Docker where you can basically copy external files from your host into the image that's being built when you go to build the image and then run that to make it a container. And so when you do something like copy/root to temp/root, what you're trying to do is copy the entire /root directory from the host into the Docker container image, the Docker image as /temp/root. And whether that works or not, varying results apparently.
Y'all want to take a look into someone else, or should we stay here with Silesian?
Yeah, we can bounce around a bit. I know IPSEC is looking at Waid. How's Waid looking up there? Our number 1 player currently.
Wade's kind of doing the same thing that Silesian was. They're just trying to fuzz with that copy command to see if they can get code execution, I think, on the web server and not whatever Docker it's spinning up.
Got it. Yeah, I see. Silesian had the source code up, and it looked like I did see there was like a sub process in there. So there might be a potential for command injection if you can control the input parameters that are being passed into that sub process. I think it was check output method.
Waid may have something.
Nice. Let's take a look. And Waid using, I think this is probably my favorite feature of Burp, the repeater, where you can load up a request, quickly make an adjustment, and then send the request out and get a new response and see, you can do experimentation very easily. I personally like it. But I have trouble with figuring out when to stop using repeater and when to start writing my own tooling. So sometimes it can get complicated, or you've got a number of different things that you want to test. And in that situation, you can write your own tooling, quick Python script to quickly test all of the variables that you want. And it actually ends up being a better time saver than manually going through and doing everything one by one, in burp repeater.
Yeah, there's also a plugin in Burp Suite. It's copy as Python request, which will do a skeleton code for your Python.
Ooh, very nice. I have not seen that one. Is that one that you have to install from like the Burp store?
Yeah.
Nice. I was looking at a file upload challenge, I guess in the past week, and just a CTF challenge, and I found a file upload plugin for Burp. But it was old and outdated and didn't want to run inside of my Burp setup, or at least I wasn't willing to fight with it to get it up and running.
So I think one of the things I would be doing right here is setting this to intruder and then just fuzzing a bunch of random special characters, or doing it in FUF or something, whatever you want. But there's other things than like a hashtag to comment. So it'd just be nice to just see what all special characters do, what is treated differently. And it would also kind of help tell you if there's a web application firewall installed. Just a lot more, here's something simple, I'm getting something unique. Let me just fuzz this one character and see what happens.
Yeah, really good point. And with those applications like FUF, for example, you can run them through the proxy. So it's really easy to say, I'm sending one individual character. The request sizes are all going to be the same, but are the response sizes different? And then that can help you differentiate what kind of results you're getting.
Yeah.
I saw somebody asked earlier, and then somebody in the chat just now was like, "Oh, this is not UFC," and UFC is like Ultimate Fighting Championship. And somebody asked, I wonder how many of the Brazilian players do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I think there in Brazil they just call it Jiu-Jitsu. I don't think they call it Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That is correct. Back in Brazil, it's just Jiu-Jitsu, yo.
But yeah, IPSEC, this is one of the things that I like about your videos as well, where you'll do these tests, right? And you talk through that testing methodology, the breaking down the logic of how you approach the problem and how you can isolate particular points of interest. And I think that's one of the really valuable aspects that you bring is showing and kind of illustrating the importance of testing methodology and logic and thinking through things as you're conducting a pen test or application assessment or whatever it is that you're doing with hacking.
Yeah, I'm really interested why everyone decided the path to go down was injecting into this, spawning a Docker thing, and the pretty much everyone just gave up on something potentially being on the Docker itself.
Right. Yeah, it's a tough scenario to be in, right? You're playing a CTF against a number of other skilled hackers, many of whom have won this championship previously, and you just kind of get tunnel vision sometimes, right? You see something, it looks like it's working, you're like, oh, I've got positive results here. Let me just keep pulling that thread, and it's kind of tough to pull back out sometimes. I played a CTF live on a stream last weekend, and the same thing. I was like, oh, I got a SQL injection here, so I was dumping the database contents, but it turned out that there was nothing of value to me, at least from that role in the database. And so I totally went down this rabbit hole for no good reason, when I should have been letting SQL map run and, going to look at something else and thinking about, enumerating more of the attack surface or poking at other things that stood out to me. And so it's kind of tough being under pressure, I think. And I'm personally grateful to be on this side of the screen and not trying to think on the fly to figure out, how, A, what's going on, and B, how do I get there faster than everybody else?
Yeah, definitely. I love being on this side and people not getting to see me flail all around. But I think it's always valuable to set some things up to have running in the background, because the one thing you can never buy more of is time. Sure. So a command that's just taking a lot of time, let's say nmap. I mean, it's the infamous command. I say I've always ran it because it takes a while.
Absolutely. And going back to your initial point of being prepared, right? You can't buy more time. So if you're spending that time of having to update a package or change users on your box or whatever, that's all time that everybody else is moving on and you're kind of stuck in place. And to that point, I really like in your videos that you do things manually. And I don't know how you have the patience to kind of do those same initial recon steps every time, because after 2 or 3 times, I'm like, I can automate this. And I put everything into one script, and I'm just I'll just add on to the script as I learn, more recon stuff that I see frequently. And I think it's really valuable showing the manual steps so that like you remember them. At least for me, that's valuable because I end up having to grep out of my tooling all the time to be like, how do I run mass scan again? And how do I run like, nmap this way or whatever. But you're giving everybody a fresh start in your videos. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm trying to see exactly what Waid is doing. Is your screen any bigger than mine? He's in like small font land.
Yeah. So it looks like he's got the DevTools console up here in the Chromium browser, and I think he's just poking at the JavaScript. It looks like there's like a jQuery thing, and I don't know like the jQuery in this situation. It looks like it's running client side. So I'm not sure what tampering the client side JavaScript is potentially going to get you.
I think this is actually sending it the code that he was doing in Repeater.
Oh, okay.
Before he went into this, the like spawning a Docker thing said it's like did the spawning thing and put hello at the bottom. So I didn't know if that was him putting hello world or not.
Got it. Yeah, or maybe it was like the base container that it pulled from, because there is like a hello world container or a hello world image. But here, at least in the notes, it's he's got the from Ubuntu 18.04 is the base image. So that's, I'm not sure. Yeah, same as what you were saying. I'm not sure where that hello came from. Maybe it was from Hello Friends. But yeah, let's see.
He's looking at the SSS source, which is from the actual web page that I think is copying and running this Docker.
Got it. Yeah, I see that now in the notes. And there's the Python. So that run sandbox method, that's where I was seeing before with the subprocess and subprocess.check output. And so if you can control like that directory variable, I'm not seeing exactly where it gets it from, but if you can control input that's being passed into those subprocess calls, you might be able to get a command injection there, which I think then would run on the host, and then you'd have code execution on the host. Let's see. I'm just going to check the scoreboard real quick and just see if we've got any new additions.
Wasn't everyone got the first flag? And there's only 2 flags, so
yeah, 5 out of 8 of the players. So let's see. We are missing Hello Friends, Bert, and I think Ricardo.
No. Bert is there.
Oh, Bert's on. Yeah, Bert's number 3. Maybe Mateus. Nope, Mateus is on as well. I'm not good at diffing in my head.
We are missing John, we are missing Ricardo, and we are missing Hello Friends in the scoreboard.
And just because we're missing them doesn't mean they aren't there. Some people like hoarding flags.
Right, that's a good point. And especially dangerous given that we saw last week the person that won was the person that got the first flag in first. So you got to be pretty confident or just maybe really wild to hoard flags in this situation. All right, Wade's saying BRB, so why don't we check on someone else? Marina, you jumped up to... Yeah,
I'm here taking a look at John Rivers. RD1T26 here in the chat saying maybe show some of the other players as well. Maybe they're doing other procedures, which might be interesting to see. Yes, we do jump around a lot. We have here 3 hosts, and we don't stay in the same players. So we jump around, and what you're seeing is my screen. So Int80 and IPSEC get to jump around here in the Discord, and every time something interesting happens, then we change screens. So don't worry, y'all. We got you.
Yeah, we bouncing around. Except for I can't get John Rivers' screen to load. So I'm just going to look here. And if it looks like I'm staring intently at you, the viewer, I'm actually not. I'm looking at the screen. So sorry, I didn't want to get your hopes up. Let's see. So
if you go to Mateus, you can see what the Zap repeater tab looks like. He's not doing how I would generally use it, though. He's got both request and response on different tabs. There's something in like that top middle area, if you can see, like it's one of the boxes is highlighted and then you got 2 to the right. One of them will put the response like in columns, like how you're used to seeing with burp. And if you pull the latest version of Zap, you can now do, I think, control period. Mateus screen.
Nice. And
and another quick tip. We are streaming both in Portuguese and in English. So we have two streams on Twitch going on at the same time. So maybe if you want to watch what the Brazilians are showing in their screen, but you can mute them if you don't understand Portuguese. You just have to go to twitch.tv/hacking esports, and you're gonna you can check what they're seeing on their screens. So that way you have both screens up at the same time. It's usually what I do. That's why I'm so quiet throughout the entire CTF, because I'm checking both streams. I have the Brazilians on as well here, because I mean, it's my language, so I can understand what's going on. I have also the scoreboard here all the time, and the staff channel here also. So it's a lot going on in my head, but yeah, we got you. We got you, fam.
we're constantly juggling, and I don't even know how to juggle. But yeah, it looks like Mateus is trying to get a reverse shell here. I saw like the /dev/TCP. Yep, there it is.
Yep.
And I guess trying to do that through os.system. Although I think like os.system is kind of, it's like an old thing, right? It's outdated.
Oh, it'll still work. I think all he's doing is like trying to get it to do a curl or something. Oh no, he's doing a full reverse shell. What I would generally do is just keep it simple, because these reverse shells have a lot of characters.
Mm-hmm.
If he just did like a curl, he could verify the network connection exists first, and then he can go on and do the reverse shell. But if he goes straight to this reverse shell, especially kind of in this hack, does he have a bad character that's breaking his exploit? He won't really know that.
Right. And, I've seen in the qualifying rounds, Mateus has done this approach that you described of having a simple test. And it's one that I use as well, and it's just pinging, right? Can I ping? So like on my attack VM, I will just fire up TCP dump, have it sniff for ICMP, and then see if I get packets, and that's it. It's easy. And I guess the only hang up there is making sure that you're passing the correct flag so that you don't just ping continuously and the process just doesn't spin out. But it's a very simple test, and it doesn't require any kind of escape or encoding gymnastics.
Yeah, I generally would do a ping request, a curl request, and then two different types of DNS request. The first one is I'll just try to do a DNS request, setting a name server back to myself to see if DNS allowed outbound. And the other one I'll do is just a random DNS request and seeing if they actually hit my name server. DNS is one of those tricky ones where it's very hard to firewall off because of just how DNS works.
Yep.
Like once your request gets to the name server, your IP address is gone essentially, and the name server forwards it on because it's all UDP. Unlike TCP, where you create a connection from you all the way to the end point, if that makes sense.
Definitely. And, you're right. Like DNS is almost always allowed out everywhere. So it's like one way to kind of narrow down, like, can I at least get egress? And it's a really good test. And I like that approach, right? You're testing essentially different protocols and different ports, all kind of in that one shot. So you're testing ICMP with the ping, you're testing HTTP or maybe HTTPS even with the curl, and then you're testing potentially UDP or TCP, but in most cases UDP. And usually I find that 53 can get out almost everywhere. So it's not necessarily required. Like I've used DNS cat before, and it's not my favorite shell, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, DNS is probably my least favorite to work with, but I mean, I'm happy to work with anything more than nothing,
right?
Which is what these players have.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and so I'm kind of, I guess they're still poking at trying to get, I guess, some kind of command execution going here. And interesting seeing that result about not being able to connect to the Docker daemon. I wonder if maybe it's one of the hosts that's being load balanced. I'm asserting there's a load balance here with like a number of instances behind it. Maybe one of them has got an issue with the Docker service not running or something.
Yeah. I think it's actually whenever they put that hashtag at the end, they're breaking the actual script, and that's why it can't spawn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. And then that comes back to your point about fuzzing, right? And then testing the different characters.
Yeah, they're trying to do the hashtag. I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to do with it. If you look at Salesian's screen, he's got something going on, kind of. He's looking at the Docker add command to add a file. So I think when they download the source, if I saw correctly, there's some type of like LFI protection preventing them doing .. .. when they do that. They get like a hello hacker message.
Got
So
it.
what he's trying to do now is work around that by saying, okay, well, my initial foothold is in a working directory above where I want to be. I'm going to run a command that will go from the root, and then I don't have to do .. because I'm starting above it. So that's what he's trying to do with this add command, I think.
Nice. Yeah. And if I remember correctly with Docker, add is effectively the same as copy. It's just that it will untar an archive for you automatically. But other than that, it's essentially the same thing as copy.
Yeah, and add has the thing of not being intuitive. Like if you're doing some type of web application firewall and you're trying to block that type of thing, I mean, I'd block copy before add.
Ah, good point. Right. Yeah. So you might be filtering the firewall might be application firewall might be filtering on specific verbs in the Docker lexicon or specific directives. And so your take there, IPSEC, is that copy might be like a denied word, but add might not be.
Yeah, it's one of those things that would come with fuzzing. Like I'd probably go through and pull all these Docker verbs, whatever they are, or just like DM Ian and ask, can you give me some help? What are some cool things I can do with Docker? And then just throw them all at the application and see which ones cause unique functions. Like the great thing is the syntax doesn't even have to be fully correct because it may just give a different error message. Like if you do the copy of the add command wrong, the application may just fail magnificently and just tell you, oh, there's something more here. It tried to do something. Didn't do it, but it didn't tell me this unable to find image thing. So it got further.
Right. Yeah. Great point. Dave asked in the chat, do we know if there is a web app firewall? And we don't know definitively. And so we're just kind of speculating, this might be a way that we could test to see, like, does copy work, but add doesn't, or vice versa, does add work where copy doesn't? And so we can same thing with exploits, right? Like, oh, all 90s are blocked for a NOP sled. Okay, cool. Like, can I just like do increment EAX, decrement EAX, increment EAX, decrement EAX, or one of the million other ways you can effectively build a NOP sled and bypass the filtering. And so that could be a way to test and like work around.
Yeah, and we don't know definitively if there is a web app firewall, but we do know definitively they can't do LFI things because we did see hello hacker on a .. So there's something there.
Yep. Yeah. Some kind of checking. And let's see what we got here.
Salesian, maybe he did something. I don't know. It's hard to say because now he actually is doing this copy stuff, but the Docker actually finished.
Right.
He can't open a file, but this is where he failed magnificently. Like, oh, this is now interesting. I've got further than I was. So
Interestingly enough, though, I think that so CMD is like the command that will run inside of the container once the container starts execution. And I thought that Salesian had ls-la, but in the response, it was showing that it was like trying to run Python 3 code.py or something. So the response was like different than what I expected with the request.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the code.py came from. Because his file name is a.py that he's uploading. If you look in the like WebKit boundary, the very top one, you got file name equals. It's like line 20.5, I guess you can call that.
Yeah.
Now he's trying to do base64 encoding. So again, this does two things. Number one, it's potentially going to get you past a web application firewall that's doing just bad words. If the web application firewall is looking for base64, you're kind of screwed. But the main thing it does is get you rid of bad characters. So he can do this, and the only characters he really needs that are special are pipes. And it's a lot better than needing quotes. Like quotes are the devil when trying to do any type of exploit. So the less quotes you can do, the better.
One thing that I'm noticing here is, okay, so in line 29 in the request, Solution just has star.py and /temp, right? And then in the response, you'll see on the right side, you'll see that that line actually translates to copy star.py /temp, even though there isn't a copy directive in there. So you see it's step 4 out of 8 on the right. So it's like you've got an injection where the file name is, I guess, in the Docker file. So maybe it's like it's starting you out with a base in the first 3 layers of the image. And so it looks like it's doing like workdir /temp in step 3. I'm only reading the bottom half of the line there. But I'm taking it that the first step is from Ubuntu 18.04, and then whatever the second one is, we don't know. But so it seems like you've got this injection at the point of step 4. And so it's going to copy something, but then after that, you take control of the contents of the Docker file, which then lets you build out the rest of your image and build out that running container.
Yeah.
So,
and Dave Attell had something interesting in chat that I didn't even think about yet. Is we have we know there's a network like firewall preventing us from doing networking things. Outside of doing the curl, the DNS, the ping, you can also just inject a sleep command and see if the web application now takes longer to respond. So right now we see the web application takes like 2,400 milliseconds. If you do a sleep 1 second, is it now going to average 3,000 milliseconds?
Right. Yeah. And I always think of sleep in the premise of like something where, like I've got a blind setup, right? Like blind SQL injection, or maybe even an SSRF, or like a blind RCE where I can't get output back. And I wasn't making that translation into a Docker file setup, but you're right. You could do, run, you could do a run and then do, sleep 300 and see if it waits 5 minutes or whatever. So yeah. Great point.
And Slee's just taking advantage of one of the new things in Burp Suite that is amazing, is he's using this inspector, which is the full, like the third column on the right, the most right column. And he's highlighted the text and he put decoder there. So now he can just edit that base 64. Now the inspector's gone now that I'm talking, but he can just edit the text of the base 64 and it automatically edits it in his request.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just wanted to say thank you so much to Walter Chen, who tipped $10, and I guess maybe they want to redeem a hint, and also Scenario, who subscribed with Prime. Thank you so much for helping support UHC.
Also, Walter Chen gifted a tier 1 sub to IPSEC.
Do you have Twitch points? Can you bet now, IPSEC?
How many points do I have? Do I just do exclamation points in the chat?
Yeah, I think it's paying points.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have 420.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
And I think betting closes in 1 minute. So if you're going to bet, now's the time.
Run, people, run, bet now. Also,
Pizza is 8.
Pizza and Soda Pop tipped us and said, please appropriate this funds for pizza and soda pop. All right, thank you. What is soda pop actually?
Soda pop, like Pepsi.
Oh, just a soda.
Yes.
Okay.
And
thank you.
Sorry, I missed that. So pizza and soda pop. Thank you so much for the $20 tips, and we will definitely make sure that it is used in accordance with your wishes. And Recurse Phantom. Sorry, I totally missed you. Thank you as well for subscribing to us with Prime. Really appreciate all of y'all joining us and helping us out. UHC is it's a blast. They make 2 separate CTF environments every single week, and they do all of this in AWS. So they've got a sizable AWS hosting bill. So all of your contributions help this keep happening week after week.
Also, Scenario, thank you so much for subscribing as well. We thank you a lot, people. And we would like to know, where are y'all from? I like to ask this every time because we have the most different answers of places that I've never imagined would be watching us. We had already Africa and Germany and Australia and Brazil and, oh my God, Scotland. Yes, Scotland.
Walter Chenin from Germany. I think who was it? Superhero last week was playing. They were from Germany.
Canada. Yes. We had Superhero last time from Germany.
I saw Houston, Texas in there, just down the street from us. We're in Austin.
Texas in the house. Chicago and Rhode Island. You don't pronounce the yes.
Right,
Berlin in the house. Ooh, so fancy.
Ashes from Merkel.
Serbia. That's awesome.
Whoa.
Austin. Oh yeah, Austin. Keep you weird, y'all. Bristol, UK, India. Watching from Niagara Falls. Oh, wow. Niagara Falls is so cool.
Very cool.
Greece. Damn. Sydney,
Wow.
Australia.
England. Morocco.
Wow. Bruh. What the hell? This is so cool.
This is Peru.
Peru. All right, my Latin American friends.
Oh, my goodness.
Gracias. Portland.
Oh, no. Look at Silesian's screen. The battery manager running low on power.
Uh-oh.
IPSEC, we talked about this. Be prepared.
Yes.
That was so cool. Thank you, everyone. I never imagined we would have so many people from so many places watching Silesian run out of battery.
Ode, I wish I had a basement. Here in Austin, we just have a slab of concrete on the ground.
It just doesn't know yet, Ode.
Wait, do you have like world-class CTF players inside the house here and you haven't told me? I could be learning so much.
We agreed. We should have some secrets in this marriage for our own safety.
What? After I gave you all my passwords, now you're talking about keeping secrets?
Oh, darling, come on.
Let's see. I saw like some CVE, like a point proof of concept or something that Silesian had grabbed. Okay, 2019 5736. I have no idea which one that is. One of the 10,000s.
Player number 2 is going over Olympi's output right now.
Ooh, nice. Let's do that. John Rivers.
Is that his name? I see a lot of characters I don't know. Like,
well, and the thing that's amazing about John is that not only did he get the nickname John the Winner in the week that he, like before he won and then went on to win, but every time that we try to view his screen, it never works.
it works for me.
Okay, so IPSEC, describe to us what you're seeing.
He has an interactive shell on this Docker container, and he's currently grepping UHC on the file system.
Nice.
I don't know what he did to get this interactive thing, but he's got it. It's got coloring. It looks nice. There's not many, there's no good information on the screen, but I mean, it's pretty.
You've seen here live, firsthand here on UHC, how Discord does not fucking work. God damn it. Let's bounce you up to another player. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna try again. Look at this. Look at it not working. Look how cool this stream is. We have 115 people just watching.
I like that people troll and they'll like disable the scoreboard, but really the next level trolling is buying time on John Rivers' screen because we can't get it to load.
No, don't say this out loud, please.
Oh yeah, IPSEC is showing us what's going on John Rivers' screen. Do you want to put IPSEC on full screen?
There we go. I don't know how I can't do this. Wait, let me figure it out.
Almost.
God damn it! I don't know.
We can watch grass grow together as he greps through all these bits.
Wait. Let me.
Oh, he's going up. What's he showing us?
Just so you know, whenever I take us off screen, no one can hear us. They can just hear IPSEC.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, IPSEC, the spotlight is on you.
Bye. Good luck.
Now the question is, can they hear me? I can't hear them, so I could talk about. Oh, she come back.
I'm just here sitting in the backstage, just creeping.
So we're really just waiting for his grep command to finish, and we can see he created rev.py. So I'm guessing he dropped a file to the disk and then ran it. I don't know how he got this reverse shell going. He's highlighting things, probably trying to make it obvious what he did, but I'm just not seeing exactly how he got it. He got a error message. LS is not defined. I'm guessing maybe the reverse shell is in like tab 2 or 1. Yeah, I'm guessing that's the case. I'm not sure if he has like control C or background. One of the things I would probably do in this scenario when I get a reverse shell is get 2 reverse shells, because I have a habit of just like wiping out my work environment and then forgetting how I did that reverse shell. So it always helps to have a second one for when I do something stupid and I just don't get a prompt back. He's also, I think, and if you look in the top right of his tmux, he's in edit mode right now. You see that 0/1939. So if the screen updated, okay, there he goes. He would not have seen it. There he goes. He control C'd. And then did something. Capsys admin. That's interesting. There's a sysadmin capability, unless that was just on his clipboard from something else. Typically, sysadmin or ADM privilege is like some type of logging thing. I'm not sure what it is in Docker.
Yeah, and if you've got the container running with capsysadmin, then I think you should be able to get access to the host at that point. But I guess that's actually, I think that is maybe copy paste from the clipboard. So I think that's inside of the container. So I'm not sure whether that will actually pan out here or not. But good call out. Like John does have an interactive shell inside the container, and I don't think we've seen anybody else with that vantage point quite yet.
Yeah, he was trying to find docker.sock, which if that is exposed in the Docker, it's a socket, which is a file, but it's not a file. It would allow him access to the Docker daemon, and he'd be able to interact with like the Docker API through curl, or if he uploaded the Docker binaries going through that. But Docker sock doesn't look like it exists, so he can't do that. The other things he can look for are like capabilities. So if he has like the sysadmin capability, he can do something. I forget, there's another capability I looked into recently that allows like a Docker person to add kernel modules, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That could be a fun way to get going up, but just knowing what capabilities you have. And you saw his terminal kind of freak out. He hasn't done STTY -A on his screen to get like his current lines and columns and then updating it here.
Right.
So sometimes when he does like anything that uses end curses, it's going to freak out because he doesn't have his terminal environment set up correctly. But what was I saying before that?
Well, we were trying to figure out how the interactive shell happened. And I think Dave was asking about that in the chat as well. And we did see the rev.py in the request, but we didn't see the actual contents. But so based on those pieces of data, as well as IPSEC, your observation about the shell not being fixed up, I'm guessing that it's a very basic Python reverse shell, just opening the socket, joining the file handles, and then just save that as rev.py, ran it from inside the container, and caught the reverse shell that way. That's my take on it.
Yeah, and another thing he could potentially do if he had 2 sessions open is just upload a static nmap to this and just nmap a few things to see maybe there's something else. Docker likes using like a 172.16. I forget the third octet Docker likes, maybe 9.
If I usually see it at 172.17.0.
That's it. Yeah, 172.17.0. So just nmap like 172.17.0.1. And also, I mean, you're spawning up Docker containers. So maybe spawn maybe there's other ones. So just look at what's on that network.
Yeah, and even without having to upload an nmap, there's a couple different ways you can kind of get some network observability from inside the container. You can look at your ARP table. You might even, I don't know if SS would work in this case. There might not be many connections to other containers, but SS is something that I check as well, or netstat. And then you can just do like a ping sweep as well, right? You can just like ping through the subnet, just 0 through 255 and see what you get.
Yeah, and he's on hacktricks.xyz, which is a great like wiki/book for doing things. I think his Chrome is translating this. It's normally not in Spanish for me.
Yeah,
I
Portuguese.
didn't even know this was a feature. It's either a really good translator or
I see the little translate just to the right of the search bar, or the address bar. So it's address bar, and then there's the little translate icon, and then the star. And so I think it's the browser doing the translation in line.
So it's just giving a bunch of just various Docker privileges to check, like we had mentioned before. I don't know what capsh is.
capsh is a client that will check capabilities for you, but I think you can make it interactive. And so I think the other way that I usually check capabilities is I do getcap, -r/ we'll do a recursive look for files with capabilities, if I remember correctly.
Yep, and now he's trying to do an fdisk, and the fdisk is just seeing if drives are mounted. He can also go into dev and then see if like SDA exists, and if it does, then you can just like mount dev SDA, and that could be the root. But yeah, we haven't seen him really look at dev SDA. I don't know what that lin file is. Maybe that's his reverse shell. Oh
yeah, that could be. It is just a regular file, and let's see, mode 755, owned by root. So yeah, it's executable. I think the file size 325K. That might be linps then.
I mean, you were calling me a nerd for being able to like read some base64. You know the size of linps off the top of your head.
I may have seen it once or twice. I was looking at something yesterday. I was playing the Pondefend CTF, and it gave one of the challenges that had a zip file that you needed to crack. And so I did zip to John, and I was like, I never looked at the output of zip to John before, but it was so massive. And I was like, wow, like, is this right? And it was like 700, almost 800K. And I was like, this doesn't seem right. Like, what hash is like, 800K? And then I looked at the file, and the file was like 330K. And then I went back and I looked through old CTFs that I had played where I'd also done zip to John. And the ratio was kind of similar there. It was like, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, somewhere like 2-to-1. So it's just kind of a sanity check. But I may have used linps recently as well. So I may have looked at the file size. I don't know.
I mean, I just want to say it's much more practical to know that ACED is the magic bytes for a Java serialized object or AA0 than it is to know how big linps is.
Hey, I'm not debating that. I'm just, my brain picks up random things sometimes. I don't know. I really liked the game Simon. Like, I don't know if you remember that game. It had like red, yellow, blue, green. It had tones, and there was a Little Caesars by where I lived. And so as a kid, I would go to Little Caesars and I would just play the game that they had that was like Simon for 25 cents. And I'd always win stuff. And the employees there hated me. And then sometimes they'd refuse to give me stuff. And I'm like, what do you mean? I played the game, I won. And I don't know. See, my brain is weird.
That was one of the funniest things I've just saw on screen, though. He did like a history less, and he had that base64 command that went on forever. Yeah. And after like a full minute of scrolling, he said, screw this, and did more, which is like less, but starts at the top.
Right. By the way, Ode, you posted something in the chat, and you were like, check out this thing on GitHub, but Nightbot censored you out. So can you tell us what it was on GitHub that was great for enumerating containers and various exploits without the link?
We are always very sorry for Nightbot. Nightbot is a very rude bot. If Skynet's gonna start somewhere, this bot has something with it.
Deep Sea. Okay, yeah, nice. Deep Sea Am I Contained is another one that I've seen that's really cool if you're in a container. Yeah. Very cool.
So Waid is doing something pretty cool. He's actually using the burp collaborator to do something.
Oh, nice.
So the burp collaborator is like a cloud instance. A lot of these people are using like ngrok. I think Salesian just spins up a VPS that's wide open, but burp collaborator is just a instance that you can send things to. It gives you a unique subdomain, and then that domain goes to your burp process. So he did that with ping. Now he's doing it with NS lookup. So he's going through that logic that we said before of trying a few things to find out how he can get interactivity.
Ah, Yeah, very cool. And Burp Collaborator is one that I haven't used. I think it's with the Pro Edition, right?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
It's like the only reason to get Pro Edition. There's a lot of other good things it does. The like vulnerability scanner is cool and stuff, but the collaborator is pretty cool. Also, the one thing I would recommend that I didn't say before, when I go through like ping, DNS, curl, I also test wget, because a lot of times you have one or the other. Sometimes you have wget, you don't have curl. Sometimes you have curl, not wget. So it always sucks if you didn't get that HTTP request to come back to you because the binary didn't exist.
Yeah, and I think also I want to say on BSD systems they may not have either, but they have fetch. And so I'll do like a which-a curl wget fetch, and usually one of those will be in place, unless like you end up in a very minimal container, which I have had happen, and then there's none of those. But then you can do with if you end up in like one of those minimal environments, you can still read file. You can pull files in through dev/tcp.
Which but that's only if you're in like bash.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
You can also cat things there, which is pretty cool. But again, it's like a bashism.
Yes. Yeah. And if one were, actually building out containers to be secure, you would just not have a shell.
Yeah.
You just be like, here's a single binary, go do your thing. Do your one thing that you're supposed to do, binary. Let's see. Oh yeah, all the people are young. Say that Perl. Yeah, LZ has a good point there. I tend to also look for Perl on systems. So if I'm like trying to get a reverse shell and I'm having trouble and I'm not getting like Python or PHP reverse shell to go, I'll totally go for Perl, because I find Perl on a lot of hosts, not necessarily in containers, but on host systems, and it's like pretty reliably there. I feel like on most servers.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about Perl was the Perl Monks forum. It was always a fun place to see just random banter of just people like shitting on code. They were not fans of Metasploit, because Metasploit actually used to be written in Perl before it moved to Ruby.
Yeah, I think I was at Hope the year that they announced that they were going to rewrite it in Ruby. And I was like, whatever about it. It was like, I'm sure it'll be fine. I didn't know anything about Ruby at the time, but seems fine.
It can't be worse than Perl.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. I had a project that I did when I was much younger, where I had to do translations. It was like a consulting gig when I was younger, and I had to do translations and basically generate a language pack. And I was able to do it with like Perl and CPAN modules. And it was like super easy. Basically, like I pulled all of the like text out, parsed it out of this like code base, and then just ran it through, I think at the time it was like Babelfish, and did all the translation, and then just like, regenerated all the code, and easy. And it was supposed to be like a multi-month project, and I did it in like a couple of days. And I was like, yeah, what else do you have? This is like nothing. So I remember like, Perl was not the greatest, but it had some nice modules. You could do some cool stuff with it.
Yeah. And it looks like a few people are now trying to do reverse shells.
Nice.
Selesian's doing a Python one-liner. I saw a DOS real something trying to do bash reverse shell. I haven't seen anyone actually do it outside of Joan Rivers, if that's his name.
Yeah, John Rivers.
John Rivers.
Yeah, or John the Winner.
That's not actually his name, but now it is. His actual name is João Ribeiro.
I was about to say, how does JOAO translate to John?
It's like how Juan translates to John, essentially.
That's actually a very normal translation to do from English to Portuguese. Just like James is Tiago. I swear to God.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that one.
I made the mistake of going off of whatever Rivers. I am a winner guy. I can't get a stream back up.
Yep. Good luck.
See
It's gone.
interactive shells.
We're currently streaming Hello Friends, and it looks like Hello Friends has code execution inside of the environment, and so this is cool. They're on the request. It looked like they were reading the Docker env, but I think Docker env at the root is empty, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's just pretty much a file that says you're in Docker.
Right. Yeah. It's like not much to get out of that one, unfortunately. But one thing that I do read inside is I'll check /proc/1/c group or c groups. And that is a good way to figure out, am I in the container or am I on the host? Because if you check inside of a container, the C groups will all say Docker. But if you are on the host or not inside of the container, you'll get something completely different. And so that's a really easy check that seems to be pretty reliable. Most systems that I hit these days have proc running. I know in the past, like proc was not a reliable thing you could count on, but it's been a long time since I've seen a system that doesn't have proc on it.
Yeah. And
Ricardo is now in the scoreboard, y'all.
Yes.
Let's take a look at what he's doing right now.
Sorry, Ifsek, you were saying were you talking about checking container state?
no, I was just trying to get back on John's stream to see what he's doing with the shell, and Doctor says no.
We have a permanent resident there in the John River stream. 0 day Ode is there now, and he said John just lost his shell.
So rip.
So it looks like Big Urs was looking for the Docker run C vulnerability. At least it was popped up on the screen for a little bit. He went away from it. That vulnerability is pretty cool. I forget when it came out. I think 2019. It's just a way to overwrite run C on the host. And when you do that, you can execute code. The downside to doing that is it makes Docker unstable. So maybe he ignored it, because if he did do that and multiple people use this container, it would just hose it for everyone. The interesting thing about that vulnerability is even if you just write it back to disk, it won't fix it, because when you do it, it does it in memory. So you have to actually go and either restart Docker or go patch it in memory, because for whatever reason, the Docker process does like reads that binary into memory, then just executes it from there from now on until it gets exploited. But yeah.
Yeah, and other interesting aspect is the run C overwrite was written by a Brazilian guy, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
So I just happened to be in Sao Paulo at the time, and I got invited to like a red team meetup in Sao Paulo, and this guy was like, "Oh yeah, this like run C overwrite exploit," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I just saw that this morning," and he was like, "Yeah, here's how I like figured it out and wrote it." And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, like I'm the guy that wrote it. And I was like, oh my gosh.
All right. Welcome everyone that just came from a raid here to Hacking Esports. Welcome to UHC tonight. Welcome to Ultimate Hacking Championship CTF match of tonight. Alhazred. I have no idea how to fucking read this, but rated our channel with 72 viewers. So welcome to UHC, everyone. We hope you enjoy all of our hacking tonight.
Dope. What up? Thanks, Al Hazard, for rating. Appreciate you and bringing everybody in. I saw Chad B in there. What up, Chad B? I was playing CTF with Chad B last weekend. Super dope. I saw some other folks in here, and then I saw earlier Dave had asked, what are they trying to abuse the Docker creation to execute something on the host? And I think what they're trying to do is effectively get out of the container. And so how they do that, could be a number of different ways, but I'm expecting that the root flag is going to be on the host. So they got to figure out some way out of the container. They may need to pivot. We haven't seen anybody check for other containers like living, in the same network segment. So they may need to get into another container first. I'm not sure.
So the raid came from Alhazred.
Alhazred, sorry.
Sorry.
Thanks. Sorry.
It's 2 times difficult. Plus, because I can't understand what is it, and second, because my English is kind of broken. So thank you for enlightening me.
I think Silesian may be close to enumerating things. For some reason, he downloaded static nmap.
Nice.
Then he's now going back to Docker verbs. So I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. The fact that he was on cellsec static toolbox, if you look at his tabs, the one to the left of Docker, indicates that he did get code execution, or he had some type of shell to run nmap. But I'm hoping he switches back to his burp window and we can see what he's left off on.
Excellent. And yeah, for all the folks that just rated, the initial setup was it looked like there was a web app that you could inject into a Docker file, which would then get used to build an image and then run on the remote host. And so what we've found so far is that the players are finding a way to manipulate the Docker file and then interacting with the resulting Docker container. But only, I think one of them, correct me if I'm wrong, IPSec, but I think only one of them has gotten an interactive shell thus far.
Yeah, so far. You can think of this website as like, there are websites out there that let you run sandbox code. So like you can probably Google like run Python in your browser or run JavaScript or run Ruby in your browser. And it's just websites that do what this thing is doing. Is it just spins up a Docker, runs your code, gives you the output. And that's what they're trying to hack. And everyone seems to have got like code execution on that container because all you're doing is giving it Python code, but no one's escaped from that container yet. And I think only one person's got an interactive shell on the code that is running it. Most people are going down the track of trying to inject into the application that starts up the Docker to run code. There's two people now looking at the container that you ran code from to see if it has some type of magic ability to escape.
Right. Yeah, we see Solution doing the search here for run escape. And previously, Solution was searching for run versus exec. But I think what they were curious about was run versus CMD, actually. And so I would always get confused with CMD and entry point. Those would always confuse me when I was building Docker files. And because they can kind of be interchangeable at some places, but in other places, they're not the same thing. And Dave was asking why are people not using Core Impact or Metasploit or Canvas for this? So I don't know if Core Impact still exists. Canvas, Dave, are you just going to sponsor Canvas for all the players? Does everybody get a free license now? And Metasploit, I don't know if Metasploit has a module for Docker breakouts. I guess they probably do. It seems like Metasploit has modules for everything these days. But yeah, and I think a lot of the tooling is, not necessary, right? In some of these CTFs, I can tell you how many times. Right? Yeah, John Hammond. Why not? Why Cobalt Strike? I can tell you a lot of times I play CTFs or even operating in a regular engagement. I can make it through the environment without needing any separate tooling. Like I can just find a way in to get a foothold. I can figure out by just looking around how the systems all talk to each other, how the environment is supposed to behave, and move through the systems that way. So I don't necessarily need a particular framework or toolkit to be able to successfully get what in this case would be a root flag.
Let's just chat here while John Rivers' screen loads up. All right, finally worked. Yay. We just have to wait like 5 minutes for John Rivers' screen to load up.
Nice. All right. So, but John is back in burp now. And there's the root shell. All right, cool. So we're back with John Rivers, who has an interactive shell. This is inside the container. And so John needs to figure out a way to either access I guess in the end, probably access the remote host file system, or maybe pivot into another container potentially.
I will say, if you want to see Canvas in this, if you buy me a copy, I will happily try to use innuendo on UHC. I will just have to somehow make it to the qualifying rounds, but
is innuendo only, is it a Windows implant only, or can it do implants for other operating systems?
I honestly don't know. I've never used it. I used Canvas like 5 years ago, maybe a bit longer, but I don't think innuendo existed back then. And I was looking at the C2 matrix recently and saw like innuendo did like every type of C2 imaginable, like I think SMTP and stuff, I think it was listed for. Mm-hmm. It did something like, it was the one across the board that had all yeses. Like, what the hell is that? And I looked, I was like, oh, it's a paid product.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Well, cool. Python agent for Mac OS and Linux. Great. Let's get free copies. Hook us up. All right. So yeah.
Oh God, we may have to go off of John Rivers. He's a Nano
Oh
user.
my God. Are you sure?
No, it's fine.
Because it's going to be hell to come back.
IPSec is just antagonizing right now. It's starting a text editor argument.
Oh, by the way, John is now in the scoreboard. So we have 7 out of 8 players in the scoreboard. And we are officially on mid game. We have reached half of our game tonight. So UHC ends in 3 hours of game, so we still have 1.5 hour more, or it ends whenever a player gets root flag, all the flags plus root flag. So whichever happens first, whatever happens first, whichever happens first. I don't know how to say this, but and as you can see in the scoreboard, we have almost all of our players now in the scoreboard. And all of them have 100 points because all of them submitted the easy flag. But that does not mean it is a tie, because here on UHC, whoever got the points first has advantage. So Waid submitted the flag first. Therefore, Waid is in first place. Therefore, Waid has the advantage here.
Yep.
So what you're seeing right here is because, again, like I mentioned it a while ago, but he never took the time to fix his profile, his environment variables. So his terminal thinks he only has like 128 columns when it looks like he has like 300 something. So as soon as he ever hits like that 128 limit, which is probably when the reverse shell first came back, he probably used it like his tmux halved or quartered or something. But that's what it is. So when it hits that, it goes back to the beginning of the line and becomes a huge mess. So if he went to like a different pane and then did STTY-A, he would get rows and columns, and then he could do STTY rows, that number, and cols, that number, and then fix it up so everything works properly. I'm kind of amazed that Nano worked.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll be honest here. I almost never fix up the rows and columns. I just deal with the inline line wrap. I'm like, it's okay. And so I'm lazy, and my fix up is like, I literally do like export term equals tmux, or no, equals x term. And then I do like script -qc / dev null. And that's it. I'm like, good enough for me. And
Yeah.
I'm also lazy where I wrap my netcat listener with STTY raw -echo semicolon, and then the netcat listener is semicolon, and then STDY sane. And so everything just kind of like works. It's like, I just less keystrokes.
Yeah.
Yay, being lazy.
Yeah, I only fix it whenever like it goes back to the beginning of the line, like, shoot.
We now have all the players in the scoreboard, y'all. Hello, friends joined all the other players, and now all of the players are in the scoreboard. Everyone with 100 points, everyone with the easy flag. Waid still in the first place.
Woo, nice. Sometimes the easy flags here, they get delivered in a way that you wouldn't expect. And so that's like one thing that I've kind of been more aware of thanks to UHC is like having a keen eye for the flags in any place, as opposed to just like working for the end objective, right? Because normally I would be like, oh, let me just go get root, and and then I can like work my way backwards, but that's not always the case. And so if you miss an early flag, you might end up getting root, but not winning.
It's gonna be hilarious if like the root flag isn't even part of this container. It's
right.
Like, oh, if you go busted this host, it had a different page.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, like nobody checked like /robots.txt and /robots.txt is like disallow /root.flag or something like that.
Everyone saw a web page that had upload, like, ooh, shiny candy.
Right. Yeah. Which, I mean, hey, like I can't blame that. If I saw something that would take my input and turn it into a Docker container, I would totally go for that immediately.
Salesian has a interactive shell. I'm not sure how he got it. His terminal print is huge, though.
All right. Yeah. Should we bounce down to Salesian?
I'm on my way. All right. Damn, it is big. let me full screen here.
Too big, maybe. I can't even figure out what command was that.
That was the
if
proc
config?
drought table.
Okay. Yikes.
So he's trying to now nmap. Finally, someone doing nmap.
Nice.
-P- to do all ports, SC for default scripts, SV enumerate versions, T5 aggressive, and -V show me open ports as you find them.
And doing it on .1, which is going to be the interface exposed from the host. So I guess looking for other services that might be listening on that interface.
Yeah, he's doing the gateway, which will be that box. So there's probably going to be SSH.
Yeah.
Somebody else in the chat, can we give Silesian points for being stream friendly? I think we should, honestly. Staff, if you're listening to me, please.
I would argue he's too stream friendly right now.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, what, did the font just like get away? Did he did he hold Control Shift and like hit the scroll wheel and it just like took off? Or did like one of the Brazilian staff members say something to him once about like, you need to have bigger font? And he was like, I'll give you bigger font.
Too big.
Too big. Go back. Pull it in, please. Yeah, so I guess nothing showing up yet, it seems like.
It's a bit funny that he did nmap with -V and is holding enter to keep showing the status screen. So if it showed him an open port, I mean, it's like scrolled off half a second, so he wouldn't even see it. Here we go. We don't have wget, but apparently it has internet, so you can just install wget. That's one way to do it.
Yeah, great.
This 167 address, this is his account in AWS. Like we said before, Silesian likes just spinning up a VPS or EC2 instance in Amazon and then doing all his hacking from there. So even though he's in Brazil, it looks like he's in New York right now.
Yeah, and I really like that approach. I have a VPS that I use for CTFs. It's great, especially if your target is behind something like Cloudflare. If if the service provider gets angry at me, I'm not going to get my my home IP address null routed, and so I'll still be able to use the internet normally from home. But the VPS, I can trash it and get a new one.
I think he just did the run C overwrite. I'm looking up that CVE. I think that's the run C number.
Yeah.
Yep, that is.
All right, so gonna trash Docker on the host.
It's a bold move.
And I wonder if Silesian is actually aware of the instability that gets introduced by that exploit. It could be, but also it might just be like, oh, like here's an exploit. It's for Docker. It's supposed to get you host root access. I'll just run that.
Yeah, it's unstable and it's a pain to fix. I'm checking if I can say why I know this.
It's okay. We'll just say from experimenting. But yeah, I don't know if that exploit's going to work. I feel like this is not the type of setup that I would see in UHC. Kind of metagaming here, but I wouldn't expect like a run C exploit to be like the step that gets you to your root flag.
I wouldn't expect it, but again, UHC does do a good job at keeping all the contestants isolated. So, I mean, if you hose it, you only hose yourself.
Right. Yeah, that's true. They do spin up the set of instances. They're behind load balancer usually, so you usually end up on a unique instance. So I guess if Silesian trashes this one, he just has to go to someone else's and trash theirs.
I don't think they would do that. The players are pretty much friends at some extent. They even help each other here on the, as you can see, they're chatting here in the in the Discord servers. So good boys.
The one really cool thing that we haven't mentioned yet, I think, so far is how many of these UHC participants that you're looking at right now actually got jobs because of UHC.
Right.
Oh wow, like
Yeah,
a
I
lot
think,
of
like,
them.
all of them.
Not all of them, but a big portion of them. And funny enough, a lot of them in the same company, and it's a company that is not sponsoring UHC. So every time they show up or they're hire one of the UHC champions, we're like, can you just freaking sponsor the CTF? You're hiring all of the champions.
I mean, they're spending all their money on the players.
I guess that's a way of sponsorship.
Okay, so we have 2280 and 111 open on .1. 111 is like the RPC mapper. It's normally not going to be interesting. It could pair up with like an NFS vulnerability, is what I generally see when I see that. I think that is port 2049, but it also can go over UDP. So you'd have to do the -SU flag for that one.
Right. Yeah. So I think here seeing 22 and 80, 22 is an authentication mechanism. So we don't have any creds yet. So I would either be looking for creds or maybe focusing on port 80 and seeing what's actually listening there.
Yeah, I would definitely just do a curl request against it and make sure it's like that upload form. That's what I would expect because .1 is generally the host. That would also indicate that the upload form is not running on Docker. It would be on the host itself.
Oh, yeah, right.
We don't know if the upload is a separate Docker container or if it's running on the host.
Yeah, good point. And I've definitely seen that where one web app runs inside of the container, but a separate web app is running on the host. And so being able to hit that other web app is, part of your chain to getting out of your current position and progressing further. And I guess there's a hint that's going to be coming in.
Yes, there we have it. There in the screen. Here's the hint, which is the Docker version. Maybe it's an old one. There is any well-known bug to it. Is there any well-known bug to it in it? I guess. If yes, which are the ways you exploit it? Which are the ways that you can exploit it? Sorry, everyone. The person writing the hints are the Brazilians, so it's a little bit hard to understand, but it's pretty much that. What is the Docker version? If it's an old one, if there is any well-known bugs to it in it, and if yes, what are the ways that people can exploit those?
So maybe I spoke too soon, and maybe run C override exploit is the way. And I would be curious. Ode had mentioned the deep C previously. I'd be curious to see that run here as well.
I'm looking at what the deep C one is.
Let's see. Let's bounce. We haven't checked in on Bert. Let's see how Bert's doing.
All right, wait a minute. Let me run to his screen. Here's Bert on room number 7, and let me full screen here for y'all. There we go. Ode saying, can I put the link to the enumeration tool in the chat? Ode, whichever link you would like, you can do it, but careful with the root bot. We have no control over the root bot, so if you can't bypass it, be our guest.
Yeah, you probably have to defang it with the TLD, I bet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like Bert is setting up a listener here for Netcat to get an interactive reverse shell, listening on port 1234, and then trying to pass in some code in the request with burp repeater. And so that would be, I think, our third person with an interactive shell if they can actually get it to connect. So we still didn't see how John got his shell to connect initially. And I don't know if we actually saw Salesian connect his either.
No. The great news, though, is once this competition's over, during the interview, we can see they go over all the solutions. So anything we got wrong, because we don't know the solutions ahead of time, the either player or machine creator will go and explain what the route was.
Right. Yeah. Great point. On multiple aspects there. We do not know what the challenges are nor the solutions, and so that's why we're just kind of speculating this whole time. So if we give hints, they're inadvertent. We don't know, and then at the end we do a debrief and we actually get all of the answers. What the players did, what they thought, and what the creators made, and what their intention was. And we've had some weeks where those don't necessarily match up. The creators, the challenge authors will say, this is the way that you're supposed to work through the environment, and the players will have found a different way. And the authors didn't realize that there was, an alternate path. So always really informative at the end with the debrief.
So I'm going to go and say that he probably just did a bad run C POC. There's a run C POC written in Golang, which I think works really well. I'm pretty sure that's the Golang one I used recently.
Nice.
But yeah, whenever you're doing exploits, try multiple versions. And it could also be kind of like he ran it once and screwed up and it's not running again. So if they have some way to revert, maybe that would be it.
Yeah, I don't think that there is a reset switch here. Like, in Hack the Box, you can like reset the box. But here you just kind of have the environment. I do think that there is, I think there's a staff member that is watching the environment during the CTF. But I think they're mainly just checking to make sure like all the instances are up. So if you've trashed a particular process on the instance, they may not reset.
And I jumped through everyone's like box after the hint. I didn't see people like just going to exploit DB. They were still kind of doing what they wanted. Salesian's now doing the deep C vulnerability.
Oh, nice. All right. Why don't we bounce down to Salesian and see how this looks.
Oh, look who's here taking a gander. So we have caught our past hosts because of our past guests. All of our guests still have access to the CTF private Discord. So now we have O'Day and John Hammond here.
What's up?
Just taking a stroll and watching the UHC tonight as much as they want.
Nice. Oh, that was really cool. So Salesian on the screen had a HackerOne report, and then the link inside the HackerOne report was to a DragonSec, and DragonSec is like one of the top CTF teams. So it's kind of like full circle there, right? You're leaving the CTF world to go into the bug bounty world to come back to the CTF world.
And the deep C vulnerability has the benefit of being more recent than the run C overwrite. So even if the run C was vulnerable, deep C will also work. But if run C was patched, deep C will work up until, I'm guessing, late 2020. The POC last was edited October 17th, 2020, when run C is like February of 2020.
Nice.
Or 2019, actually.
Nice. So deep C more recent and then quite possibly likely to be applicable.
Yeah, this is a new one to me, so I don't know if this will hose your system or not.
And that's another great aspect that I love about CTF, right? If I like trash something, if I accidentally break something, or like if I like thrash the init process or whatever, anything goes wrong, no big deal. It's just CTF, right? You can at worst revert the box or like bail out of your shell or whatever, and it's a great opportunity to like play around and experiment with stuff. Whereas at work in a professional environment, I would not just go play around with stuff because that's like actual money that at stake, sensitive data.
So deep C is actually not a CVE, so I don't feel so bad for not knowing it.
Okay.
It's a Docker Priv-esque checker script. So it's like linpeas, but with Docker.
But for containers.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was like, I monitor the CVE boards for Docker. How did I not see this?
Nice. Yeah. I'm curious to see it run and see what it comes back with. It'd be hilarious if it's like, yeah, run C. It's the run C overwrite exploit. And you're like, I just ran it. What the heck? Yeah. All right. Well, the real life of hacking, looking things up on Google and going through the results. Sometimes venturing past page 1 if you're really brave. And I guess we haven't seen any indication that the containers are running with any like extra capabilities, right?
No. Deep Sea should be able to tell you that, though. It's got an enumeration thing that shows capabilities.
Scoob, there is a page 2? I've heard of this. Yeah. I don't know, Ipsec, did you ever play the game where it was like find search queries that would only come back with one result?
No.
It was like a years ago thing, but when people were like, "Oh my gosh, there's like 2 million results for this thing," and so it was like a separate CTF to find search queries that would only return just one result. The thing that was funny was you couldn't tell people about that because then it would somehow like leak out and somebody would post like, "Oh yeah, if you search for this search query, it will return one result," which would then add more results.
I gotta say, whenever I'm doing an OSINT assignment or anything like that, I wonder, and I just for fun actually, I just wander around all the pages. I click that page number 10 just to see whatever the hell is going on there. How much the algorithm had deteriorated at that point.
So
Yeah.
I think Hello Friend is trying to get Metasploit working right now.
Oh no.
What I mean, it may have a module that's well tested. So generally on engagements, if Metasploit has a module for it, I'm going to opt to use Metasploit before I opt to use a random Python script.
Is Hello Friend or Silesian the one you were talking about?
Hello Friend.
Nice.
Oh, let's jump there.
And apparently, what I was describing before with only one search result is called a Google whack from the folks in the chat. So I didn't even know there was a term for that. Very cool.
Now the thing is, can you find a Google whack that's also a Bing whack? Does both Google and Bing only return one? That's my favorite thing. Is like whenever I'm searching an error message and Google's not helping me, I go to Bing and it generally works.
Yeah, it's so funny how centered that folks become on Google, and they forget that there are other search engines out there that can get you different results. And Bing and like DuckDuckGo are especially helpful for me on the OSINT side. So Marina was just talking about doing OSINT assignments, and on the OSINT side, I love jumping through different search engines to see what kind of results I get for folks.
Yeah, a lot of search engines, or at least the big common ones, will like do filtering so you can't search emails easily.
Mm-hmm.
Other ones don't.
Yeah, Yandex. I think Yandex, or yeah, I'm trying to remember if it's Yandex or vContact. But I like that was one of those sites was like really good for getting like free email addresses that didn't.
It was
get
Yandex.
filtered. Yandex, okay, yeah, that like wouldn't get filtered on places as well.
I'm really surprised people didn't just go to like the MITRE CVE page for Docker and start looking at code execution vulnerabilities.
Right. Yeah. I mean that hint is basically saying what to do.
There's 3 code execution vulnerabilities since 2014, one of them being in 2019, and that's run C. So if I had to guess, there is directory traversal, which probably is run C as well.
Oh,
Docker
nice.
18 API endpoint behind Docker CP. Ooh. So this is interesting. This is 2018 though, so I don't know. It's talking about abusing the Docker CP command with a symlink. So what they're probably trying to do is like, you can't do .. in the Docker spawn command, right? But I mean, if you're a symlink, you may just be able to like symlink / and go to the beginning. of the file system without ... So there may be some type of like symlink and a Docker verb I don't know about, but that'd be something to try. Symlinks do a lot of unintended things.
But for that, you would need control over the Docker invocation, right? You'd have to have some kind of injection where it's like actually running like Docker run or whatever to get it to run Docker CP on the host.
Yeah, which they kind of have.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, they were running like a few Docker commands in that second argument. That stir.py/temp, that copy, that run.
Right, but isn't that inside the Docker file?
I think that's in the Docker file, but that get processed on the host, doesn't it?
Oh, right. Okay. So is your intent here that you could say you're injecting after the copy, right?
Yeah.
And so are you saying that you could maybe like cause the execution to then bail out of the Docker file composition and then start executing commands on the host?
So what they can't do is they can't like run a file ... But maybe they could like symlink etc shadow to the file they're trying to execute. And then you get an error message, but generally error messages cat out some of the output of what the code was bad. So you'd cat out some of etc shadow, replace that with like SSH keys.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good point. And then, yeah, exactly. Replace with the SSH keys. And we found that there is SSH running on the host. So then you would be able to potentially SSH directly in. Yeah, good call. Let's see. Somebody else asked, how much were they able to upload to get the Docker image? And I think you can control, what goes into the Docker image here. And I guess there is some file upload as well, right? I mean, like on the screen we see like file name is bigos.py, or I guess I'm watching Bigos. Sorry, we're on Hello Friends. But yeah, it looks like you can
jump over to Bigos.
Oh no, it's fine. This is good too. So we see file name is sss.py, and so you can control. It looks like the contents of what goes into sss.py. And yeah, here I see. So what Hello Friend is doing, or Hello Friends, is they are doing that directory traversal from inside of the Python script that they are uploading, the sss.py. But I think they're still in the container. They're just reading from proc inside the container, right?
Yeah. That sss.py is what gets executed in the CMD. So like the Docker and like the Docker file has CMD space Python, and then that argument sss.py, which is the file they're uploading. But what I'm saying is like a lot of people doing enter and then doing Docker commands after that, because that's going into the Docker file itself. So if there's a Docker verb to do something like a symlink, because the command's not getting executed yet, so they still have time to replace that file with a symlink.
Got it. Yep. Yeah, and I think you could also potentially do the same thing with copy, right? And just like copy from the host in. Yeah, that could also be a thing. Skim Milk, what up? I saw you on the qualifiers yesterday. Welcome back. And Skim Milk asking about can they add anything into the Docker file? And yeah, it looks like you take control over the contents of the Docker file after the copy verb in line 4.
Salesian is looking into something called Abstract Shimmer, CVE 2020-15-257. It's another Docker vulnerability that wasn't on the MITRE page, but it's still got a CVE. That's the danger. Like, that's what I hate about these applications that just host so many things. It's hard to just find CVEs with them, because a lot of things will mention like, oh, this is Nessus or Nagios running inside of Docker. You're like, no, I just want Docker itself, not the application that can run in.
Right. And yeah, to your point with the CVEs not always being accurately reflected either, I see you do a thing that I do, which is to just search for like CVE whatever exploit on GitHub directly, instead of like going through the CVE listing in like the MITRE output.
Aw, thank you so much, Walter Chen, for gifting the tier 1 sub to Alhaz Red and John Hammond as well. That's super sweet.
Nice. Thank you.
Giving cheers to our past guests.
All right. Let's see. We're watching Silesian currently.
Yes.
And this looks like this is maybe the proof of concept. This is that shimmer that you were talking about, IPSEC.
This is abstract shimmer.
Got it. Okay. Man, I'm going to feel so bad if like the initial run C wrecked the environment.
I mean, with that, you have like one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you want.
Then you have to make a rap song about it.
That's your gig.
Yeah.
I was trying to set you up there.
Yeah, people were talking about adding like a thing to the store, like with the Twitch points. Could we buy like a freestyle from Int80?
Yes, please, come on.
No, I think it should be. Can we buy dad jokes? That's the thing that everybody wants.
No.
Yeah. If you like the dad jokes, write dad jokes in the chat.
No.
And if you want me to drop a freestyle, write dad jokes in the chat.
No. God damn it.
Can you just do like 5 dad jokes in the form of a freestyle?
Yes, please, yes. Okay, that way I allow the dad jokes. Like Blue Dragon Sec in a sea of people asking for dad jokes, you can just see Blue Dragon Sec there. No, please, oh no.
Okay, exploit has ran. Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
All right, now you gotta do it. Everyone asked for it.
Oh, okay. Dad jokes. All right. Let's see. I gotta think. I don't. I'm not a dad. It's much easier to freestyle rap than it is to come up with dad jokes on the spot.
He did not think he'd get this opportunity. He was not prepared.
Yes, we talked about this with all the other players and how unprepared they were, and now look who's talking. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna look at this Python code for inspiration and see if I can come up with anything.
Just take a look at the private chat.
Oops, sorry.
I am not feeding no one with dad jokes. I did not approve this.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to query my brain, but I'm only getting I'm getting errors, and so I wish I had like a real SQL parser, because then I would ask, "Can I join you?"
I love IPSEC. IPSEC's laugh was just so short. And out of shame.
IPSEC is like, this is the last time I'm ever hosting. Let me know when Int80 is not going to be on, and that's when I'll host again.
People in the chat, undo, please.
Yes.
So, how do hackers get away from the police?
I know this one, but I'm going to let you finish.
Did they ransomware?
Yeah.
God damn it, David. Let you finish the joke. I told that one the last edition last week.
How do you catch a robot?
I don't know.
You take them out of water?
No, with a botnet.
Oh. I see. Okay. People in the chat, I love it. Start the TikTok music. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
So Silesian's still on this CVE 2020 application or abstract shimmer. Going through, seeing if anyone else is trying anything differently.
Yeah, let's keep looking. We'll keep on Silesian digging through here. I just realized this year we put our first album out in 2017 or 2007. It was dual core, and so this year would be, I think, 14 years of dual core.
Oh wow!
2021. Yeah, and before dual core, I was in a group called 1023 Megabytes. We never got a gig. Ah, Jay Beers, how did you do that?
Oh wow! All right, that was a nice sync.
Jay Beers, great minds think alike. But
Ubix has just subscribed to us, so welcome, Ubix. Thank you for your subscribing.
Oh, whoa! Thanks, Mubix. See, Mubix really liked my dad jokes. That's why Mubix subscribed. My dad jokes brings all the subs to the yard.
Puta que pariu. That's swearing in Portuguese, because that one was spontaneous. Jesus Christ.
So we do have Joan Rivers trying to do the Run C exploit. He just downloaded it. I don't know if it's the one I generally use with this. Doesn't look like it is, but we'll see if it works. It looks like he fixed up his shell, or at least Nano's working.
Nice.
He's still using Nano.
You know, I'm okay with whatever text editor, whatever works. I'm good with it. I don't hate. I'm okay with whatever. I mean, Vim is the best, but it's okay. You don't have to be the best. Not everyone can be the best, and if it works for you, then it works. Yeah, Mubix, we were IPSEC was giving John Rivers a hard time about using Nano previously in the reverse shell. But I'm good with whatever, except for Emacs. If you use Emacs, you're dead to me. No, I'm just kidding. I had a professor that loved Emacs, and it was actually the operating systems professor. And I said one time in class, like, "Oh yeah, I think Emacs is a really good operating system. I just wish it had a text editor." he did not enjoy my joke. Microsoft Word is OP IDE. Best code editor ever. I mean, hey, VBA, right? You know, it works. It's good.
Just so everyone know, we are now officially, we're actually 7 minutes in our late game. So we have a little bit less than 1 hour now on UHC for the players to go after the root flag. And Skin Milk has subscribed to us.
Oh, cool.
For 2 months subs for dad jokes.
Yes.
God damn you.
Thank you, Skin Milk. Just fuel to the fire. Fuel to the fire. Can't argue with those numbers. And yeah, John Hammond with Microsoft Word, syntax highlighting anywhere you want. I love it. So many red squiggly lines in my source code. Oh man, so I'm starting to see why there's only 2 flags in this CTF. Mubix, what is Forrest Gump's password? I don't know. IPSEC, what do you think Forrest Gump's password? 1 Forrest 1.
That's a good one.
I love it.
That was not a dad joke. That was an actually good one.
That was amazing.
Thank you, everyone. This was UHC tonight. Oh my god.
Yeah, so Dave asking what version of Docker are we on? And I think that's kind of the question of the hour that nobody has truly answered yet. I don't think anybody's actually done the enumeration to figure out what version of Docker is actually running.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone do that. I haven't really seen Selesian poke at port 80 of that Docker instance. Maybe that would tell you something.
Yeah, does the Docker API, you can talk to it through HTTP, right?
You can. The container they're on doesn't have the Docker binary, and Docker socket isn't exposed, so they can't query the API that way. But maybe the API is exposed on port 80 on 172.17.01.
Got it.
But we
Yeah.
don't know what that page is. We could have
Right.
missed it once the Legion looked at it.
Yeah, no doubt. And Dave saying, why are people running exploits before they know? Because it's a CTF. YOLO. You got to just go fast.
YOLO.
That is pretty much it, really. It's like, recon. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm trying to pull up John's screen. I'm not getting any luck. I'm going to just check in on Waid and see how Waid is doing.
I have John's screen here on the streaming.
Dope. Is that run C overwrite? I don't know what he's pulling down.
So for those that are just joining, UHC, it's a weekly hacking thing. Earlier in the week sometime, there's a competition. The top 10 people get invited to the weekly finals, which is what we're commentating now. They are streamed and we can hop through everyone's screen. It's primarily in just Brazil. And this exploit was they got access to a web page that allowed them to upload and run code, like a website that just lets you run Python code in a sandbox environment. A few people have found a way to get an interactive shell, and the PrivEsc, there's supposedly is a out-of-date Docker version, and they can escape the sandbox that way. No one successfully escaped the sandbox yet. We have Joan Rivers trying the Run C exploit, it looks like, and Silesian is going with Abstract Shimmer from the NCC group. I don't know what the other people are, but these are the two people that have had interactive shells to get to that point.
Yes, and if you want to be part of UHC, if you want to play UHC, either just for the fun of it or to actually compete here on Twitch, you can just join the Discord server that the bot had just posted the link here on our chat. And then you can play around. You can play the qualifying rounds every week. It happens on this Discord server. That's a public UHC Discord server. And you can just play around. You can just, have your fun and get to know a little bit about how our machine builders here on UHC think. It's always different. The qualifying round is always different from the actual Twitch CTF here broadcasted here on Twitch. But still, you can still play around. Like Int80 plays a little bit of it. All Day was here in the chat telling us he plays every week on the qualifying rounds. And that's pretty much it. It's very easy to access and play around. It's built for people who don't speak Portuguese as well, so you won't have any bad language difficulties.
Yeah, and it's a unique environment every single week, and it's actually two different unique environments. So Saturday is when the qualifying round happens. I think it goes live at 8 a.m. Brazilian time, which is like GMT -3. So that is like 5 a.m. Central Time here. Or no, wait. Yeah, 5 a.m. Central Time. And 6 a.m. Eastern Time, but it runs for 24 hours. So you don't necessarily have to get up bright and early. And it is a unique environment. So usually the first couple flags are something with a web app, but then there's pivoting and or PrivEsc. And then, those are like usually the subsequent flags. And then, as Marina said, you take the top 10 players from the qualifying round, and then they play in a completely new environment live Sunday night. And that goes for up to 3 hours or until somebody gets all the flags. And so this is where we are right now with the top players from Saturday playing currently. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. I always learn something new every week in UHC, so it's always a blast.
Yeah, the hard drives were not readable, Dave. Ricardo looked like he was going for the Golang version of the Run C exploit, which I know is pretty reliable as far as that exploit goes. It still hoses the crap out of Docker, but it hoses it the best way possible compared to all the other exploits. But it looks like he may have given up on that because he's having trouble installing Golang.
Oh, Golang's not that hard. It's like literally you pull down the tar file, follow the 2 steps from Google, and you've got it all set up, ready to go.
Yeah, Now he's installing the Docker binaries in his container. So this is going to, maybe he's going to see what version of Docker he's running. We may actually see it here. He just installed Docker inside of Docker.
I love it. It's Inception. Let's see. Come on. Go.
Oh, no, he's going to go for Nmap. So he wants to run the Nmap Docker discovery script, I guess. Maybe if he runs it against 172.17.01, it will work. -- script, he's going to specify the NSE script, which was Docker -version. And he doesn't have to put .nsc on the end of this. I don't believe so. He's got to give it a host, though. I've never seen an Nmap command run without network. He's going to give it localhost 127.0.0.1. We'll see if this works. Discovered 80, and nope. I'm guessing he should try against 172.17.0.1, which would be the router of his container, which hopefully is running some type of Docker API. But I don't think the Nmap script is going to help him too much here.
Yeah, and you can get from inside the container, you can do like IP space R, or you can do route in some cases, and that should get you your routing table, which would also tell you what that gateway IP address is.
Yeah. He's now looking at deep C, which is a Docker enumeration script we learned earlier. This is like, if you want to take one thing we've learned today, I think both me and 80 learned about this script.
Yep. Yeah, this was a new one, and from the screenshot, it looks like LinPs, except for container environment.
Yeah.
So I would definitely be trying this right now, knowing that I'm in a container. I'd be like, give me the enumeration, please. Do the computer go faster than I can.
So now he's going to click raw, copy it, and do curl, and then just pipe it over to bash. And we're actually going to see this output live. I'm sure other people have looked at this. We saw other people looking at the script. And we see here he hasn't fixed his TTY. Maybe he's going to fix it now. STTY-A? Yes. So you're going to see how this works. He's going to copy the rows and columns. And now he's going to do rows. And he forgot, just like me, 35 and like 138. He's got to do columns now. So he's going to specify 134. And now it should work.
This is way better than I do.
Oh, he's not piping it to bash. He's just going to download it to a file, and now he can just execute it with bash.
Nice.
I want to see it. Run it.
He's looking at the source. Gotta be sure we're running something safe.
Just run and look later.
It is that moment of screaming at your screen right now. We can all hear all day from here. It's just, come on,
go,
just do it.
Come on, you got the file. Why won't you run this script? It's like right there. You just did change mode +X. Now run it just like it says. Follow instructions. Yeah, Blue Dragon Sec. You should start playing chess now. Do it. Yes.
Yes.
Watch. He's going to do control. Yes. Not yet. Not yet. Oh my goodness.
If the script needs arguments, it will tell you.
Oh, hold on. Let me check the GitHub issues first. Maybe I should figure out a PR that I can submit before I try running this with time. No! Why? Oh my goodness. I think that Ricardo is watching the English stream and is just messing with us at this point. Let me check out this guy, pull up his LinkedIn real quick. Nick, what are your qualifications to write this script?
I mean, I only like running scripts from people like in the US. So I just got to make sure that this French chanting guy is US based, I guess.
Oh my goodness. So, IPSEC, you spoke way too soon, right? You were like, oh, we're going to get to see deep sea. Nope. No, we are not.
Oh, God.
You cursed it. Ode says my monitor is out the window. Not sure if this is typed correctly. Yes. This is amazing. I can't believe how many like release engineering jokes are in the chat right now. Oh, why?
Did the script just tell him without giving any standard out? Does he have like a neural link right now? He downloaded the script, typed it out to run it, deleted what he typed, and then went to a vulnerability.
Yep.
This is some like ADHD moment I can't even comprehend.
I think it's one of those moments where the code is the documentation, right? We saw Ricardo look at the script, and then I guess he was just like, "Oh, it's just this. Yeah, no problem. Let me grab a C file now, and I'll just compile that." Way easier than just running a shell script.
I downloaded the script. I looked at the man. It told me it could find this vulnerability, so I just decided not to run it and just go find this vulnerability.
Yeah. I don't need a computer taking my job. Come on. Yeah. I can still earn a paycheck.
So the concerning thing about this is he doesn't want to read the bash code. Or he does want to read the bash code. The C code, he's just like, yeah, let's just download and run.
Well, the C code is like, 6 lines inside of main. That one's okay. I'm okay with that one.
I'm going to laugh because this is also the guy that remember how we got here. I said he downloaded the Go code that I know is reliable to do this exploit.
Right. And has not
he
run
never
it yet.
ran it. And then it's like, okay, well, at least you're not learning the Go code, so I won't know that one. But now you're going to deep C. I want to see this output. You downloaded it and you started to run it, and then you didn't, and now you're at this. What are the odds he doesn't run this?
Right. Well, what's going to be amazing is I'm predicting the future. He's going to collect all these different exploits and enumeration tools, and then he's going to go back to the beginning and go through them one by one. So he's going to run the Go code, and then he's going to check the deep C output.
Yeah, he told us he's just doing what we said. We said you have to be prepared. So now he's preparing for all scenarios before he even starts any.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So Blue Dragon Sec had an idea that maybe we could have Twitch points to shock the players. And then I like that Scoob's premise is that Ricardo is holding out until we get a freestyle. And so Ricardo is going to keep us in limbo or in purgatory until we get a freestyle about dad jokes.
I agree. I am 100% behind this idea.
I thought the dad jokes were good enough that we didn't need any freestyles.
Why do you keep doing this to us? You are worse than Ricardo.
Ricardo's doing it to us.
You are worse than him. You're a hypocrite.
My, how the turntables have turned. Oh.
Do y'all want to keep suffering here? Do you want to bounce around? What do you want to do?
I'm really I feel like Ricardo was so close, but now they're just like wandering around in the forest.
He's been so close so many times, I think.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know the solution here, but I do know if you never run anything, you won't.
Right. I have this suspicion that at like 7:58 or in 30 minutes from now, Ricardo is going to be at the top of the leaderboard with both flags. He was just like waiting. He's got like an @job scheduled, and it's like at 2 minutes until UHC, do the actual correct exploit and dump the flag out and submit it.
I'm like this close of muting myself in the Discord server. My hand is like shaking there, like, run.
So I think Waid is on the same thing. The stage 1, stage 2 C code stuff. So 2 people are trying the same thing.
Oh, nice. But Waid doing it through the through just the straight command execution through the HTTP request. Have you seen Waid with an interactive shell?
I have not.
Got it. Oh my God! Imagine doing this exploit from burp repeater.
Mateus, he's on the Go page.
Okay.
Is he going to download code and run it this time, or is he going to go and look at Deep Sea after he downloads this?
I think he's waiting for Ricardo to do it first.
We are all waiting on Ricardo.
Are there side effects of this? Yes, you will overwrite your implementation of run C and doc will cease to work.
Totally worth it. I like it though. Checking some reputable sources. I see a live overflow and a John Hammond there on the screen. Although I don't know about that John Hammond character. Seems kind of shifty.
I like this. I don't know what this exploit is. It had some dangerous words, so I'm going to read some CTF write-ups.
Right. John Hammond guy, sus. I love it. John, I'm so sorry I let you down in the CTF last weekend. John Hammond was narrating in the CTF that I was playing, and he was like, when asked about, who do you think is going to pull it out, he was like, I like int 80 in this one. I think he's going to pull it out, and I did not. So I'm sorry to let you down. I'm making up for it now.
The one thing I'm really sad about, we've gone through a lot of these screens. I haven't seen anyone use ipsec.rocks. It won't help you here, but I still wish someone would use it.
Yeah, I mean, Mateus is reading CTF write-ups. If I was going to go look for CTF write-ups, ipsec.rocks would be my first stop. That's ipsec.rocks. Now on your internet, ipsec.rocks. Check it out. This episode is sponsored by ipsec, ipsec.rocks.
I mean, it's getting close in the competition. I think at this point, I wouldn't care about trashing a system, being like, oh, well, I ran this and it was right. It broke everything. But at least I know it's vulnerable now, so I can ask them to revert my thing and go actually read stuff.
Right, yeah. Or if it's, if there are multiple instances behind the load balancer, then just hop onto another instance.
Yeah.
And then go trash that one until nobody can play. Eat, sleep, trash, repeat.
Come on. So I did it to us again and said someone was downloading the Go code.
Oh my God, no, here we go. No.
We're learning what IPSEC's superpower is tonight. It is reverse psychology tricking people into not running the exploits. So everybody hire IPSEC and then have him just put message of the day banners on all of your systems that say, oh yeah, you should definitely run this exploit. This system is vulnerable to it. And then when attackers get on the system, the message of the day banner will display showing that message. And because IPSEC wrote it, the attacker will not run the exploit and not compromise the system.
It's forsaking us.
Yeah, I think it was about 90 minutes ago. I was like, well, this run C exploit sucks. It's going to hose your system. But if I was to want to hose a system and run it, I'd use the Go code. I haven't seen someone run it. I've seen 3 people download it.
Right, yeah. Well, we saw Salesian run it.
No, he didn't run it. He ran the C code.
Oh, he ran not the Golang one.
Yeah.
Right.
He was the one I mentioned that we should check out the Go one. He's still an abstract shimmer.
Right. Yeah. IPSEC, you're the puppet master here.
Alha's Red saying the number one thing that's keeping me from competing in this is being publicly slammed by IPSEC Senpai. Aw, you don't have to play. You don't have to play it live if you don't want to. You can just play the qualifiers to have a little bit of fun. And just so y'all know, we usually have 10 players. We don't have the time to run through everyone all the time. It's been a while since we've seen Bert. It's been a while since we've seen Big O's and Hello. So we just stroll around to see whoever is getting closer. And we're just having fun. We actually like people to make mistakes, because then you get to comment on the process of it. You get to, take guess, because we don't know what the actual solution is. Just so y'all know, we have no freaking idea. We can even give hints because we don't actually know how to solve it. So
Yeah.
we're all in the same boat.
I mean, that's one of the main reasons I went into doing videos, because I'm lazy. And even though videos takes me an obscene amount of time, I know if I make one mistake in a video, I have someone that's going to correct me. Because people love correcting on the internet. It's just like free reviews. So I can just put my workflow out there. And if I'm doing something bad, I'll know about it.
Yeah, you're right. It's a free learning experience, I guess.
Yeah, you should never really take that, like, it's not hurtful criticism. And even though if we slam something, it doesn't mean we're right.
Right.
We're just equal opportunity slammers, so don't take offense to it, because that's just what we do.
I just wanted to see the exploit run, or I wanted to see Deep Sea run, because Deep Sea looked really cool, and I've not seen it run before, and it was like right there, like literally all the steps were done, and it was typed out in the terminal. They
One
did the
key
path and
away.
everything. You're one enter key away.
Yeah. Papa Cuchillo asking, when's the next qualifier? Qualifiers happen every Saturday there on our Discord server that the bot has the link for y'all. If you want the link, just type exclamation point Discord, and the bot will give you the link of the public community Discord where the qualifiers happen every Saturday. And Infinite Logins is asking, who creates the challenges? Most of the challenges are created by Kadu from CrowdSec, one of the sponsors, as you can see up there in the layout here on Twitch. Kadu develops a lot of the challenges. He's like a CTF monster. But we do have some collaborations, like tonight's flags, for example, were not built by Kadu. They were built by Pimps, a Brazilian hacker that lives in Australia, and he's like super dope. We love him there. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
If you go to Big Osa's screen, he's trying to exploit this in a magnificent way. He's one of those that haven't got the interactive shell, so he's doing everything in Burp Suite. And if he goes back to this window, you can see
Yes.
every single time he is going to install Build Essential, go to root, download a binary off his box.
This is like a 101 in like how to build Docker files. This is amazing.
Then he's adding, stage 1.c, and then he's compiling it, and then he's doing stage 2. The really bad thing is, if this works, he just hoses the environment, doesn't get anything.
Right, yeah. I don't think you get the interactive shell then.
Yeah, because the run CM exploit is just going to bash into your interactive session. If you don't have an interactive session, you're going to overwrite run C and not catch the shell.
Yeah. Bummer. Yeah, hopefully Big Os can figure that out, because it would be amazing. Big Os won last week, and so to get 2 wins in a row would be fantastic.
We are now into our last 30 minutes of tonight's match. We already have a very big, generous hint out. The players are struggling, so they have half an hour to try to run for it. Waid is still in first place, as we said right there in the beginning. Last edition, the player who got the easy flag first was the winner, because all of the other flags were pretty hard and they didn't make through it. Apparently tonight we're having the same issue, but now Waid is first. Everyone has the easy flag, but Waid submitted it first. It means that if in 30 minutes no one gets the next flag, Waid is probably gonna win. But
Which is
sorry,
I was gonna say that's interesting, because even though Waid got the first flag, I don't think he's still got a reverse shell yet. So he still wins. Doesn't mean he's the furthest. It just means he got it first and no one got to the second point.
Exactly. And we've seen here on UHC multiple times in the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. I swear to God, we've seen someone submitting the next flag in literally the last seconds. So it's pretty much anyone's game until the actual final minutes of it. And whenever we're finished here, just stay with us, because then we're going to raid into the Brazilians channel here on Twitch. You don't have to do nothing. Just stay with us. Stay here with us in the chat. We're going to raid into their channel, and we're going to interview the winner of tonight's match. And we're going to talk with Pimps, the creator of the CTF challenges of tonight's match. So we're going to have a walkthrough to understand what were the players supposed to do. So you're going to understand step by step all the flags of tonight's match. So you just have to stay with us, and then at the end we're going to raid, interview the winner, and interview the CTF challenge creator of tonight's match.
Yeah.
So, Ricardo right now, he used the ngrok.io, and now he's searching for how to do 2 ngrok simultaneously. It looked like he compiled the run C code, not the Go code, and he's thinking maybe it's just not catching the shell correctly. So he wants to run a new ngrok session. This is where like Silesian's preparation is different, because he just does a VPS instance and he can do any port he wants. Ngrok is going through a like cloud host, so he's got to set up a different port to get bent back to him. VPS is just like take that step out of the equation and make it much quicker.
Absolutely. And I think with ngrok, with ngrok, I think you only get 1 connection on the free tier.
Yes, and he wants 2.
Right. Yeah. So he's gonna hit a blocker potentially. But yeah, hopefully, like Ricardo looked really close, and like hopefully he can pull it out. Maybe he's got 2 separate free accounts. That is a possibility. Free auth tokens for ngrok, y'all, if anybody wants it. Screenshot. Also, I think I saw Briskets join a moment ago. So what up, Briskets? Good to see you. And then somebody in the chat said Nadi. So Nadi, if you're on, thanks for joining us. It's like, I don't know, like 5 a.m. in Pakistan right now, but thanks for being here. Jeez. I played CTF with Nadi last weekend as well. And I think in the hard box, Nadi was the only one of us to get a shell. While the rest of us were struggling on the web apps, Nadi was just like, oh yeah, shell, no problem. And then I think his internet dropped out or something.
And I've seen someone here in the chat also giving a shout out to Stock. So I have no idea if Stock is watching. If Stock is watching, what up, bro?
Oh yeah, what's
come
up?
Join us. You should come here and be a guest.
Yeah, love that dude.
I don't know what Silesian just did, but his power is at 100% now.
But is it over 9,000?
It's got over like 9,000 seconds of power.
I guess Silesian found the adapter.
But that's a fast charge.
Yeah, good point. This looks like the Go code.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get.
This is abstract shimmer though, not run C.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah, I guess the tab may not have updated.
Oh no, 2019. Yeah, no, this may be.
No, I see shimmer there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. maybe somebody, one of the 8 players, will run run one of the exploits or run deep sea. Oh man, yeah, O'Day about to jump in and run deep sea to show us what it is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is our meme on UHC of yelling at the screen where we are not under the gun like all the players are. So, we kind of have a clearer head sometimes. And so we're like, do this thing. And meanwhile, the players are off on their own.
Blue Dragon Sex say, I vote to give this out to whoever runs Deep Sea at this point.
But the final flag is running Deep Sea. I still like IPSEC's idea that like there's some other endpoint or something like that that's really easy, where if you like looked at like robots.txt, it's like, oh yeah, root flag.txt is disallowed, and that would get you the root flag. You could have been done in like 2 minutes.
Oh, it looks like Joan River is editing the runc exploit to do something. The binary before just touched a file woot as a POC. It looks like he's probably going to replace this with a reverse shell. Maybe this is what people didn't do.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, while we are here waiting for John Rivers' screen to load up.
You want to kick over to IPSEC and IPSEC, you share your screen and show everyone what John Rivers is doing?
Let's see.
So while we wait, I'm right here with y'all, telling you, asking you, what's a programmer's least favorite Pixar movie? And with John Rivers' screen, I say the answer to that question was A Bug's Life.
Hey!
Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry, everyone in the internet.
I love it. And dad jokes.
Some people should not have access to the internet. I'm very sorry.
Dad jokes are like malware that you just keep infecting people.
Oh my God, stop, please.
All right, John Rivers, come on. Run this exploit. Oh, no. Now we're back on hack tricks. Oh, so they're going to maybe try to put the Docker socket overwrite in as the payload?
I have no idea what's going on right now.
And, this happened to me also when I was playing CTF last weekend. Nahamsek would go over to my screen and see like one thing. I'd have like, 3 or 4 things going on the screen. He'd be like, oh, it looks like int80's doing this. And I'd be like, that's not what I'm doing. but he can't hear me. So maybe it's the same thing here where we're looking at John, and John's working on one thing and we're like, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah. And he's got his terminal not like set up properly. So that command, who knows what's before it.
Yeah, right. I like O'Day's joke. I invented a new word today. Plagiarism. I love it. And I just saw the one before that. My hotel tried to charge me $10 extra for air conditioning. That wasn't cool.
Oh my God.
O'Day with the 1-2 punch. It's amazing.
Press F for respect.
We're gonna have like the finals for whenever we do finals again, and the guest hosts are gonna be entered based on their ability to tell dad jokes, and the whole episode of UHC is just gonna be dad jokes nonstop. F's in the chat.
Oh Jesus, take the wheel.
All right.
Wait, did we lose 2 people?
Yeah, it looks like we lost a couple of folks. Ricardo and I forget who was in the 3 slot.
Okay.
I'm just going to bounce down to
I think Ricardo was the one in the 3rd spot, wasn't it? Oh no,
Waid
just came back. I think they had probably a connection problem right there. And yeah, 4th is Ricardo. So yeah, now we have to wait to see if Ricardo will show up again.
You know the thing that bugs me the most about like the Golang code never getting executed? They couldn't execute it because they couldn't compile it in Docker, but the whole point of Go is to build a binary that executes on anything. So you can just build it on your host and copy it.
Right. Yep. And speaking of being prepared for things, like I have a number of tools that I've compiled in Golang for different architectures and different platforms, and then that way when I land on a box, I'm like, yes, I would like this version of this tool, please, and I just copy it over, and I'm prepared. Yeah. Let's see. We still going at John Rivers, huh? Okay. Well, that looked promising-ish.
It's tough to say because we don't know what that one thing he put in the code is. It could error any which way.
Okay, here we go. Now we're going to run a...
I don't know what he's doing with this Docker sock.
Yeah, I don't know either. And now we lost this.
He disconnected
the stream. Oh, John
We were
Rivers
so
dropped out.
close.
These a lot of these players are Brazilian, and the internet in Brazil is not the most stable. So I feel for them. It's super rough when you lose connectivity in the middle of a CTF. We can jump into, let's see, Waid does not have a shell yet. I'm checking on Mateus. Mateus is looking at the source code. Do you see anybody, IPSEC or Marina, that has an interactive shell currently?
Silesian, probably.
Let's see. I'm going to check in on Hello Friends.
But Silesian's now back to doing what everyone else is. So maybe, ooh, that looked promising.
Did they run deep sea? But
No. Oh, wait. They did the run C. W get run C. He's doing the abstract shimmer.
But doing it from burp, right? Not from the interactive shell.
Yeah.
But do you know with the abstract shimmer, does that give you an interactive session, or is it like an interactive shell, or does it write something like a payload to the disk for you?
I haven't seen abstract shimmer yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, same here.
I'm hoping to find out in either 15 minutes or like 30 minutes when someone goes and says what the exploit is. I'm going to be really sad when it's like, oh, you run deep C and it tells you run C exploit and gives you a link to the Golang code.
Right.
We are going to find out in 15 minutes, y'all, because we only have 15 minutes more on UHC tonight. Players got to run.
Oh, man. I feel like I need to get more bourbon to make it through this last 15 minutes. Watch. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get up and get more bourbon. And in that time, somebody is going to run deep C. It's going to tell them to run the Golang code for the run C overwrite. They're going to do it, and they're going to get the root shell. So I will be right back to catch the root shell.
If that happens, we will not tell you. We will celebrate and change screens, and life goes on.
I'll come back and sit down, and everybody in the chat will be like, more dad jokes, more dad jokes, more dad jokes.
Go fetch your drink.
Yeah, briskets. Find out on the next episode. So what you're really watching right now is not UHC, it's Dragon Ball.
I mean, Dragon Ball wasn't that bad. It's Dragon Ball Z that did it. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
BRB.
Okay. I think Joan River may be onto something.
Oh boy, here we
He's
go.
deleting a lot of code. He's making it simpler.
Let's wait for John Rivers to load. Oh my God, why? Why?
So the thing I don't understand why no one started removing is like, it's bad code and it's touch/woot woot. Why not just like replace woot woot with the reverse shell? And I don't know what this bad init is. They're getting an error message on something. And I think that's after what they're doing. Yeah, I don't see anything in this where it says like bad init FD usage.
We're trying, everyone. We are trying. It's just
So
not into the CTF anymore. The Discord just. Oh my God! All right, we're streaming John Rivers' screen now.
So I'm guessing this bad init code has to execute, and it's probably like because he took the. Maybe he'll show it again, but in the actual exploit script, that bad binary thing where he did like the semicolon, pasted that doc command, did another semicolon. I don't know if you can use semicolons in that. Maybe he's just escaping out of whatever thing he's supposed to do. So I think that's where this error message is coming from.
So which player actually got the root shell?
I don't think it.
It's not John Rivers because you're on John Rivers' screen right now. So just tell me, otherwise I'm gonna have to go through all the players to find it.
It took literally all the time that you were out to load John Rivers' screen, so we just got here.
See, this bad binary thing where he's doing the woot woot then semicolon. I think semicolon may be a bad character, and now his like terminal's all whacked out because he's not doing that STTY trick that we talked about earlier. But I don't know. I don't think he can do semicolons here. I think that's the issue he's coming into. I think it's passing this string to the bad init file, and because how it passes it, the semicolon's being treated as new command, and then it's not running any command.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so so it's basically stopping at doing the touch on woot woot.
Yeah.
And then discarding everything else.
I have to see what this bad binary is doing. I don't have this code.
Also, I like this shebang is /bin/good bash. Where is bad bash?
10 minutes countdown, everyone. 10 minutes.
Rob IT Wizard or Robit Wizard, STTY trick is part of fixing up your shell after you get a reverse shell. So there's some STTY stuff you can do that will make your shell be basically more manageable. Yeah, Bash exploded. You are bad, Bash, and we love you for that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's see here.
If you go to like ipsec.rocks and search for a fix space TTY, it'll go into what we're talking about with fixing it.
Yes, Papa Cthulhu. Hi, Bad Bash. I'm Dad. I love it. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'm looking at Silesian, and Silesian's still messing with the run C stuff, but now getting run C executable file not found in path.
No, I should have not got out of John Rivers' screen.
Oh, Silesian hosed himself.
Yep. Yeah, so
like I
I
said,
think
you got one shot of one opportunity. He sees everything.
Yeah,
he did not capture it.
Now he's got to make a movie called 8.8 Mile. Rip. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Silesian can get onto another instance. We'll see. Well, it's down to the last couple minutes.
So I think we have confirmation. As long as like he didn't screw up this Docker file, it is run C, and he did it with the Golang script. The Golang script looks like it worked.
Oh, okay.
At least I'm assuming. Because I see him installing Golang in a Docker container. But
in Abstract, just to be clear, Abstract Shimmer is separate from the Golang implementation of the run C overwrite. Is that accurate?
I think so.
Okay.
Abstract Shimmer from NCC Group has a 2020 date, and I think.
If only there were some way to know. If only there were some kind of enumeration script, something deep that could look into, something deep that could see, just some way.
Oh my god.
We're gonna put John Hammond live now because John Hammond has John Rivers' screen up apparently. Oh, I have it actually. I made it in. Let's see. I wonder if Marina can get back in here. John Rivers messing with the bad init .shell script still. And interesting, it wants a file descriptor path.
Yeah, I think he's like down the wrong path now. Maybe not. I don't know what exploit he's on. I was looking for it. I couldn't find it. Bad Bash is not like Google Whack. It came up with a lot of things. So
let's see. Yeah.
While we wait for it, I'm just gonna, stuff and have my fun.
I was gonna go on ipsec.rocks and see if there's a video for Run C.
There's not.
Uh,
I'm gonna laugh if this gets a Twitch stream like DMCA'd.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. 5 minutes left. Let's see.
Bro, we are not gonna see whatever the fuck's going on in John's screen in 5 minutes.
All right. Pick someone else.
Ricardo's gonna join and run deep sea and then do it for us.
You gotta pick someone else.
Yeah. Do Ricardo.
Ricardo's not here.
Oh, sorry. Do Hello Friends.
Oh my God, John Loda. Jesus. Now you gotta stick with it, y'all.
All right. So yeah, we're on we're on John Rivers until death do us part.
I feel so bad for Silesian. He's trying a bunch of things he did previously, and it's getting Dr. Damon not found.
I wonder if maybe Silesian is on the same host as anybody else, and that's also ruined their possibility as well. So Marina, speaking of death do us part, I was wondering if we could have kids, and if we I really want twin daughters, and
that's good luck for you.
And because we both love music, we could name them Anna 1, Anna 2.
Oh my God! It's just that do you understand now why my answer is no to kids?
Because you don't want more than one of me running around.
Jesus Christ! Can you imagine this kid? It would be fucking the fucking Antichrist with my temper.
They'd be like 15 and saying, "You told me to drink all the booze, Dad."
with my diabolic inner evil demon and the external chaotic energy that N80 has. Can you imagine? Jesus Christ. We should not do that to humanity.
So, we've got John Rivers trying to break out of this container here. And I think, what we're seeing is that Docker, it is good. It's an isolation setup, right? And it's good, but it's got vulnerabilities, right? So, if you can run a container in a jail, that's good. Some images, when they become containers, they should be in a jail, especially if they were framed, because they're images.
Oh. Okay.
I wish the players were watching to get some of these dad jokes. This is payback to them, really. I deep see what you did there.
People in the chat are just pressing F without it.
Every time Int80 speaks, F.
F. 2 minutes, y'all, and the scoreboard is down.
I feel like it's going to be Waid pulling it out.
Well, we will not know because we are now stuck with John Rivers.
I mean, I feel like if Silesian's host wasn't dorked up, he'd probably get it. His mistake, I think, was going back through like the repeater window.
Yeah, I think you're right. Imagine realizing that like right after you click send in repeater and being like, oh no.
Hello friend, cannot contact the Docker daemon. See, is anyone else getting that? Waid is not getting that, so it's not shows for everyone. I'm guessing Hello Friend also did that exploit from without a reverse shell.
If we look at Bert, it looks like Bert has a shell and has Metasploit up, and they are looking at privileged
Bye,
container
John.
exploit module.
Bye forever, John.
Oh man.
1 minute. Oh no, actually, I think we just finished.
Oh yeah, right. That was the 8 o'clock. Ah.
Ooh, yee. All right, I think this is the end, everyone.
That's too bad. Bert had the shell and everything. I think Bert might have been able to pull it out.
Well, tough luck, because we have reached the end of our CTF tonight, everyone. But we are still not over. We're gonna start the raid. The staff is asking. Yes. We can start a raid, staff. We're gonna raid into the Brazilians channel. We're gonna have our interview with the winner. And we're also gonna have the walkthrough of the flags tonight with the CTF challenge creator, which is Pimps from Brazil, but he lives in Australia. And stay with us. You don't have to do nothing. And that's it, y'all. We'll see you in the other side, and it's gonna be bilingual, so don't worry. Yes. We're gonna have it in Portuguese and in English not at the same time, but we're gonna do the translation there for everyone. So bear with us.
Dope.